Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Monmouth, Oregon, and MacArthur Field. I'm Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag. We've got great Northwest Athletic Conference action coming up on a sun-drenched field here in Monmouth, Oregon. Azusa Pacific and the Cougars here in town playing Monmouth and the Wolves today. Hey, Zach, Matt Palumbo, glad to meet you for the first time. We're on air live and we get to talk about football on a 70-degree day on October the 5th, 2013. It doesn't get any better than this.
Doesn't get any better than this. We're both excited for a great matchup tonight, the Cougars versus the Wolves. And the Cougars coming in off of a tough loss last week. Tough battle. It was a 7-3 in a tough defensive matchup they definitely had on the road there. While the Wolves had a different story.
Didn't they? Riding now a two-game winning streak. Take Dixie State out a couple weeks in their home opener, go on the road, have to play at Simon Fraser in the elements. And what can we say about their defense, and especially number 8, Mr. Akins, coming up big. Now the GNAC player of the week on the defensive side of the ball, only giving up 3 field goals, winning 30-9. Talk to me about Akins and his play last week.
Yeah, Akins had 11 tackles, 3 going for a loss. Also had 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. So really stepped his game up. Came away with player of the week for the conference. And also the Wolves managed to get the team of the week as well. So great performance. Weren't able to score in that first quarter, but really came back to put a hurt on them. Like you said, 30-9.
Tail of the tape here. Today we have 2 teams that come in on the season with matching records 2-2, 2-1 in conference play. And the loser of this game is going to lose out on that 4-way tie now for first place. Now we've got, oh my goodness, Azusa Pacific. We've got Western Oregon, Dixie State, and I believe Central Washington. So there's a lot riding on this game today, and we're going to get to see that dichotomy that we talked about. We're going to see Azusa Pacific try to dominate the line of scrimmage from the running, and then Ryan Bergman in the offense for the Wolves want to get the ball to Tyrell Williams. They want to get the ball to Antoine Wafer, Joe Harris out of the backfield. It's going to be a contrast in styles. Talk to me about what you expect to see on the field today.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. The Wolves definitely are going to want to control that line of scrimmage. The Cougars. And the Wolves come in, they definitely have been doing more passing this season, but they tried to even up that balance there in the last game, rushing over 40 times.
Well, another great Northwest Athletic Conference action today, just to let you know. We talked about that 4-way tie at the top of the conference standings. It's Simon Fraser at Dixie State. Winner of that game right there will have, some say on who's going to be on top in this division. And then also Central Washington down at Humboldt State. Humboldt will be here live on Channel 17 KWVT next week for homecoming. And I got to tell you, it's great to be here on, I said, last week it was the remnants of a monsoon, and now we're in mid-spring-like temperatures, and we're just minutes away from kickoff, as it looks like they've just taken the coin toss, and it looks like Western Oregon has won, and they've chosen to defer to the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, Matt, an exciting matchup. One team walking away losing that first place standings, and one team solidifying it for another week.
We don't know if he'll get in the game, but we're going to make mention to a gentleman by the name of Mitch Lomax, who plays for Azusa Pacific. Went to school up at Lake Oswego High School, my alma mater. Father, a very famous quarterback for the once Phoenix Cardinals, Neil Lomax, but he'll be playing tight end. If you see him in the game today, it'll be number 87. Cannot forget to talk about Channel 17 and KWVT. From Longview to Eugene and everything in between. KWVT, live here in Salem. That's Channel 17. You can also look us up on KWVTSalem.com. Want to give special thanks out to our executive producer today, Ken Louis-Tag, and all of the people that are going to make this possible for you to watch today. We're moments away from kickoff. and really fall football. I wouldn't call that today with the temperatures and the sun-drenched skies, but very exciting as the Cougars will have the first possession of this football game. Wolves will come out in their classic red uniforms, gray pants, and their matte black helmets with the Wolves on the sides. And our opponents, the Cougars, today will come out in black pants, in all white uniforms with black lettering and numbers and white helmets. Moments away from kickoff. Looks like we've got 2 players back deep for Azusa Pacific today. Looks like it'll, go ahead.
Yeah, number 2, Ed Dillahunt, and I believe that's number 6, David Smith back there.
Action just about ready to get underway and doing the kicking duties today for Western Oregon as he places it down. I got to get a look at him too. Jesse Correa, number 28, going to be kicking off deep to the Cougars.
And here we go with an exciting matchup.
Whistle is blown. We are official and ready to start. Dillahunt back deep, kick in the air. High lofted kick, not very deep. And it looks like they'll pick up the ball around the 15-yard line as the Cougars move it out, get some blocking, and are going to get good field position as they move the ball out to the 35-yard line. David Smith with the return.
Yeah, nice return of about 20 yards there by David Smith.
First chance now to see the Cougars go on to their offensive side of the ball, and we've been talking about it since the beginning of the telecast today, but we think there's going to be a heavy dose of running the football today for the Cougars, as they don't pass the ball very efficiently as a team, but we're going to be looking obviously for Terrell Watson, number 33, the tailback today, to doing the heavy load and heavy lifting today. From the shotgun, Cougars will start with 4 wide receivers and spread out the Wolves defense. And Watson will get that. No, it's a pump fake, and it's going over the top. And the pass almost caught, and there'll be a penalty flag on that first play. Pass intended for Ethan Zeidler, just a little bit long, but a penalty flag on the play.
Yeah, number 7, Stewart, the quarterback for Azusa. And there was a penalty, so we'll...
Pass interference on the offense. Zeidler getting called for the push-off, and they'll march that ball backwards from the 35-yard line. It'll bring up a first down, and very long now for the Cougar offense, as Stewart will go back to run the Cougar offense.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we expect Watson to be leading the team in the offensive category there, coming into the game averaging 133-plus yards per game. Also scored 6 touchdowns thus far this season.
Tough week against Central Washington last week. They lose 7-3. He only gets 40 yards, and he's been averaging 150 yards the previous 4 games. Stewart now from the shotgun. 1st and 25, ball on the 20. Again, Watson will get the ball up the middle, gets a lot of running room, and the tackling not that good, and almost a 14-yard pickup, and almost back to the original line of scrimmage for Watson.
Yeah, great run by Watson right up the middle. Like you said, some missed tackles by the Wolves there. So to bring up 2nd down and 12.
Watson on the season averaging 6 yards a carry, and we can see why they're very bruising running style coming from Watson. Stewart now going to have 3 wide receivers, 2 out to the left, 1 to the right. Looking like a blitz coming from the Wolves, and it is. Stewart does get rid of the ball, gets it out to wide receiver. Dillahunt, though, wrapped up and thrown out of bounds by the Wolves defense, and the defensive back unit there really staying at home on that play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Cougar offense.
Yeah, number 40 for Western almost got in there to the quarterback. Shane Kinsey wasn't quite able to bring him down, but had good penetration. And so that'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
3rd and long now for the Cougar offense on their first offensive possession here in the first quarter.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
Stewart from the shotgun. Reversal of sets from the previous play. He's looking to pass, looks over the middle, has a man. Going out to Zeidler. Zeidler catches the ball, but there's a fight for it. But the referee pointing in the direction that it'll be a 1st down. Zeidler ripping the ball away from the defensive back on a really strong play.
Yeah, that was number 6, Devin Chappell.
Chappell almost coming up with that interception there, but it's going to go down for first down yardage and a little momentum play as it brings the ball nearly to midfield. Just about 2 minutes expired here in the first quarter. Two running back set now for Stewart on 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 47-yard line. Stewart now with the option, flips it out to the other running back, number 23. He hits the angle and the corner, and Ronald Douglas picks up a few big yards on that play. It'll be second down and about 5 after they place the ball.
Yeah, fake to Watson up the middle, drew the Wolves in and got some good yardage on the outside there.
Watson doing 91 carries in the first 4 games for him. Only 19, the 20th now attempt for Watson on the season, but now we will have our main man back there, Mr. Watson, in the shotgun along with Stewart. Again, he's going to pass the ball to the right side, and the defense comes up, but Stewart gets away, has first down and more. He's going to be at the 30, the 25, the 20. No tackling coming. Chappell comes over with a shoulder to knock Stewart out of bounds, but my goodness, big play from the Cougar offense, as it seems that the Wolves defense had no idea that he was out running alone, and if it isn't for Chappell, that's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, great run there to the outside. They did say he stepped out a bit before where he actually made it all the way to before that hit. So they're going to say it's a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Impressive opening drive. Again, commitment to the run coming from the Cougars as they'll put 2 wide receivers out to the right.
Yeah, good initial penetration by the Wolves there, but they over-pursued and the quarterback was able to escape.
Well, there's Watson with the ball. Easy run off the left side. He runs the ball out of bounds, but again, easy yards picked up by this Cougar offense as they are marching down on their first possession. Now 11:30 on the clock here in the first quarter. Azusa Pacific and the Cougars playing here live at Monmouth, Oregon against the Western Oregon Wolves. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag calling the game here live on Channel 17 for KWVT.
Watson picked up 3 yards on that first down carry. So it'll be 2nd down and 7, ball on the 24-yard line.
Man in motion across the formation. Ball goes right to Watson to the middle, but that play blown up by the defensive line. Looks like we had number 90 sneak in there for the Western Oregon. Not quite sure. Have to maybe look at that as he comes off the bottom of the pile. But the Wolves defense stout on that play. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Cougar offense.
Yeah, also number 44, Devin Wells in there on the tackle. And Wells has been leading the team with tackles thus far this season, 33 total tackles. So add another one there for Devin Wells.
Ed Dillahunt, slot receiver on the right side for Stewart as he calls for the action from the shotgun along with Watson. Defensive line ready to pounce for Western. It's going to be a pass play. Goes over the middle, ball underthrown and broken up by number 3. Patrick Tapia on the play there. It'll bring up 4th down and 8. Ball on the 22-yard line. Could be our first opportunity to see a field goal attempt. Be about a 39-yarder when the ball is placed.
Yeah, great job by Tapia there to break up the pass. A little bit underthrown, but did a nice job of getting the hand in there, making sure the receiver had no chance. And so the Cougars' first chance to get some points on the board here. They're going to line up for a field goal, about a 40-yarder here.
Placement is good. Kick is up. Has plenty of distance, but it looks like it might be wide right. Not sure. But the hands go up, and we have our first score of the game as the Cougars go on top 3-0 over the Wolves live here on the official network of Wolves football on KWVT. We got kickoff here. Tapia picks up the ball around the 10-yard line looking for a blocker. Tapia gets out to the outside, nobody to beat. He's got clear sailing. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30. It's a runaway train for Tapia, and the Wolves strike right back. Touchdown! Western Oregon, just like that. 6-3. Wow!
What a great run. You saw Tapia made that first man miss, and there was nobody there to stop him.
So a squirrely little kick comes down there. He picks it up like he exactly knows where he wants to go. Runs straight for the sideline, untouched, all the way 90 yards for the kickoff return, and the Wolves right back on top.
Yeah, just like that, putting points up on the board. Wolves offense doesn't even get to touch the field.
Correa now with it. Oh, bad snap. Correa's going to pick it up, and he is going to just fall on the ball. It was a terrible long snap there, a little high. Penalty flag on the play. Well, let's wait and see what the referees tell us today. Look at Tapia run up the right side, getting offside. All that blocking.
Defense number 97.
There's Tapia running it to the house, but they do call offside
on the extra
on the
point.
So we're going to get a second attempt on that extra point, but unbelievable blocking. They seal off that right side. Tapia out to the house, and there was nobody there from the 50-yard line on. It was just him.
Western Oregon has accepted the penalty, but they will decline the yardage. Extra point from the 3.
And there you heard it. So a penalty on the defense, but Western Oregon declines the yardage here, and they will attempt the extra point again.
Correa this time on the second attempt. It is up and it is good, and the Wolves, misses it wide right. Well, from my vantage point, it looked good, but we'll come back for more Wolves action live on the official network for Western Oregon University football, KWVT. Well, if you're just joining us, 10:13 on the clock. It's already 6-3. Long kickoff coming for Correa. Looks like it's going to be Smith picking it up at around the 5-yard line. He's running it out, going to the right side, looking for a blocker. But Western Oregon there to cover it up. Ball will be placed on the 23-yard line, but lightning striking. I mean, you're right. Western doesn't even touch an offensive play. It's Tapia running it all the way back after the Cougars come out on that nice opening drive to get a field goal.
Yeah, great job by the special teams creating that wall, giving him a lane, and he took it to the house. And so a nice 18-yard return by Smith on the kickoff. They'll bring up 1st and 10, and they placed it just short of the 20. Oh, nope, now they adjusted it, and it will be on the 23.
47 yards rushing on that first possession from the shotgun. The Cougars offense operating again for its second possession, and the ball goes right to Watson, but again it's another play fake. Ball goes out to Dillahunt on a little bubble screen, and Dillahunt's going to go ahead and pick up an easy first down there, about 12 on the pickup.
Yeah, nice pass play by the Cougars.
First down and 10, ball placed on the 34-yard line of of the Cougars. Dillahunt on the season averaging nearly 17 yards a catch. 4 wide receivers in this set for the Cougar offense as they operate at 1st and 10. Ball handed off this time right up the middle, and Watson is going straight down the gut at this defensive line, carrying defenders from approximately the 45-yard line almost all the way to the 30-yard line, almost 15 yards. And so far, we talked about the line of scrimmage, and the Cougars have come to play some football.
Yeah, run straight up the middle. Watson making no bones about it, but about what he wants to do, just ran straight up the gut of the defense. And like you said, picked up a huge chunk of yards there, carrying some defenders with him.
Craig Atkins, name not called for the Wolves defense so far. That GNAC player of the week going to have to come up strong for the Wolves defense, as it'll be 1st and 10 now in Wolves territory. Ball goes out to the man in command, number 23, Ronald Douglas, though, but the defense caves in on him, and once again we see a play from number 40, Shane Kinsey. Right here, Kinsey stays in his lane, is able to pick up the easy tackle. Actually, it's his man, second-hand man there. Our favorite name to say, Kanagata with the tackle. It'll bring up 2nd down 11. Ball on the 33-yard line. Stewart in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers out to the left. And it's another run play off the right side. The effectiveness of this Cougar offense in the first quarter really has come running right between the tackles. Once they decide to get outside the hash marks, it seems that the Wolves defense is responding quite nicely.
Yeah, I agree. Watson there tried to take it to the outside and picked up about a yard, if that's what's going to bring up a big third down here. Nice job of the Wolves defense, like you said, definitely closing up those lanes to the outside. So 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Big third down here for the Cougars.
Stewart calls from the ball in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the set. He's going to pass. He's going to run as he sees a lane. He's running for the first down and a little bit more. Runs out of bounds smartly as to avoid the hit. But a nice first down pickup. 3rd down and 9. And the quarterback, Desmond Stewart, 6'4", 225 pounds, senior, majoring in communications, communicated quite nicely with his offensive line and ran for that first down marker. They'll place the ball inside the 20. It will be inside the red zone. First down and 10 from the 19-yard line. 7:20 on the clock and running here in the first quarter. Wolves defense now looking to show a little bit of blitz. Ball handed up the middle as Watson gets it again. He tries to go off that right side, but nothing there. Again, the Wolves defense stacks up on that play and takes Watson out of his running lane.
Yeah, you saw the blitz coming, did a nice job of plugging those holes, and Watson had nowhere to go to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Don't forget, Fishing the Northwest, the original Fishing the West on KWVT, our wonderful Channel 17 here in Salem. Stewart now in the shotgun. He has 3 wide receivers bunched out on the left. Man in motion.
Watson in the backfield again. And
there's the pitch to Watson. Watson has a running angle to go at, but chased out of bounds. And again, it's Chappelle coming in, number 6 from his defensive back position. He flushes him out. He has nowhere to run. He can't cut it up the middle, and the sideline becomes a second defender there for Chappelle.
Yeah, Chappelle had a wide receiver all over him trying to block him there. Did a nice job of fighting through that block, giving Watson nowhere to go. Only picked up 2 yards there.
We're on the 16-yard line, 3rd down and 8. Another opportunity for this Cougar offense to perform on 3rd down as they picked up a 3rd and 9 just a moment ago. Stewart now flip-flop set, wide receivers out to the right. He's looking to pass, looks that way. Pass is a little bit low. Intended target, Kyle Gravis, wide receiver junior, studying business at Azusa Pacific, but it'll bring out the field goal unit again, and we're going to get the chance to see about, looks like a 34-yarder maybe.
Yeah, a bit closer than the first field goal they made from about 40 yards. So definitely within their kicker's range here.
Down, kick is up. Plenty of leg once again. And the kick is good, and we have a tie football game at 6 apiece. Cougars and Wolves doing action here in the first quarter. 5:42 on the clock, and we're tied at 6 on KWVT. Tapia picks up the ball once again, this time from his own goal line. Penalty flag on the play, but Tapia doesn't run it back to the house this time, as I'm surprised they even kicked the ball in his general direction after that. We'll wait and see what the penalty flag is on the kickoff.
Yeah, looks like for now he brought it out to about the 15. We'll have to see who the flag's on here.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 22 return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Adam McAdams with the infraction is going to be half the distance to the goal line. So the Wolves are going to be backed up deep in their own territory, as it'll be the first offensive possession now at the 5:34 mark, or almost 10 minutes gone. And this is the first time Ryan Bergman's going to come onto the field for Western Oregon to lead this offense.
Yeah, like you said, the first chance we're going to get to see this Wolves offense come onto the field. And they will start out with the ball, looks like about the 7-yard line here. So 1st and 10 from the 7.
Joe Harris, the tailback, gets the ball right up the middle, cuts out to the left, keeps his feet, and he's met and tackled quite easily by the Cougar defense, number 68 on the play. Ahmad Sunda with the tackle.
Yeah, looks like he brought it out just past the 10-yard line, so About a 3-yard gain there for Harris on first down run.
Harris still in the backfield now, wide receivers moving over. And a bad snap. Penalty flag on the play. Cougars say they'll have the football.
Yeah, the quarterback wasn't even expecting the ball to be snapped there. Hit him in the chest.
Bad communication between Bergman and his center. It'll send the Wolves defense back onto the field, and Azusa Pacific now knocking
illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving and did not reset. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a fumble recovered by Azusa Pacific, first down.
Yeah, some miscommunication between the center and quarterback there. Number 1, Ryan Bergman, was not expecting the snap, and like you said, the Cougars will now take over with the ball on the 9-yard line of the Wolves. So deep in Western territory.
First down, goal to goal, wide receivers out to the right in this formation. Watson now the lone setback. Watson gets the ball right up the middle, and the hand signal will go up, and it's a touchdown after the turnover from Bergman and the Wolves. And Azusa Pacific right back out in front, 12-6, just waiting for the extra point. And then we get the nice play here again on the replay. Watson just getting the ball, everybody doing their job up front, and a fairly easy touchdown for the star tailback of Azusa Pacific.
Yeah, basically wasn't touched till just about the 1 or 2 yard line. There's no way to bring Watson down when he's that deep.
Justin McPherson going to be doing the kicking duties for the Cougars as they attempt the extra point. You're right, Cacciatore. Number 16, Cacciatore with the kick for Azusa Pacific. They're on the board, 13-6 after the costly turnover by the Wolves. We'll be back for more Wolves and Cougars action here live on the official network of Wolves Football, KWVT. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. Didn't miss much there on the kickoff as it goes deep into the end zone. The intended target was going to run it out was Dominic Aquina, but he will kneel on the ball, and the Wolves will take over on their own 20-yard line, reeling after the Ryan Bergman fumble that led to the Watson touchdown for the Cougars. And it's Azusa Pacific on top, 13-6 behind a touchdown and a couple of field goals. And the big story right now, Western Oregon only 2 offensive plays in over 10 minutes of football.
Yeah, not much of offensive production we've seen so far versus the Wolves. Looking to put together a drive here, finally their second possession of the game.
Ryan Bergman now looking to pass on first down. Ball intended for Tyrell Williams, their big play receiver. He averages around 15 yards a catch, and they were going to try to get him on that skinny slant, but the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, number 96, Appy Fume with the knockdown.
Can't miss Appy Fume out there on the right side. Big, not even in a three-point stance, looking to rush the passer there. Harris gets the ball up the middle, following his blockers, and gets some positive yardage, keeps the feet moving, a la Roger Craig. And it actually was not Harris on that play, but it was Leighton Panui coming in and running the football on that second down play.
Yeah, Panui with a nice run there. Picked up 8 yards,
8 yards. Now we got a third down and manageable. Antoine Wafer far left of the formation. He had a big play in their opening home game, a 42-yard touchdown on a similar position on the field. No safety to protect him there. Wafer now looking, but the ball goes. Pump fake on the right side. Ball thrown underneath. Ball again intended for Williams and broken up by number 3, Silas Goma. Silas Goma reading the eyes of Bergman the whole way, and there's nothing going on there, and 3 and out, and the ball's going right back to the Cougars with all of the momentum. 11 plays, they've run the ball today, 97 yards. They are tearing up the defensive line right now of the Wolves, and they're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, like you said, over 97 yards already, only 4 minutes left in the first quarter, so definitely putting on a show on the offensive side of the ball.
Tyler Thornton on his own 30-yard line, ready to receive the kick, almost a high snap, but the Wolves will get it away. Good hanging kick and a fair catch called for by Thornton and covered up well by the Wolves defense there on that. They'll pick up the ball On their next offensive possession, the ball will be placed at the 23-yard line, again for the Cougars, and now it's an opportunity for Western Oregon and that defense to reassert itself in this game, because right now the diet is this: hand the ball to Watson, watch me go. Western Oregon hasn't had an answer for it up front. They're going to probably start crowding those linebackers and maybe putting 7 or 8 in the box. And what makes you vulnerable there is if they get past that first level, there's a lot of green pasture to run to.
Yeah, absolutely. Watson's doing a great job of carving up that defense straight up the middle. So the Wolves definitely going to have to do something here. Like you said, maybe bringing more in the box.
Pass goes out on that first play, and the first tackle is missed, and it's almost first down yardage to the wide receiver. Deep on that play on the left side, I have it as Ethan Zeidler.
Yeah, number 3, Patrick Tapeo on the tackle.
Zeidler gets good release on that play, comes back to the ball from Stewart. First down and 10, ball now on the 33-yard line for the Cougars, as they are operating under a full steam of momentum, leading 13-6, 3:38 in the clock, and running here in the first quarter from Monmouth, Oregon. There's Watson again, running off the right side, trying to go right back into the middle, but the Wolves there to snuff that play out, and at least for one play, not have to worry about seeing the back of the jersey of number 33.
Yeah, nice jobs by the Wolves converging there. Taking down Watson before he can get started.
Tuiamala with the play for Western Oregon as we hear that live over the public address announced. It'll bring up second down and 10 on the 33-yard line. Approximately 3 minutes in the first quarter here. Stewart in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers on the bottom side of the formation. Throws it out on the opposite side to the left side. And it looks like, again, he might have been looking in the direction of Zeidler, but it's 86 that ends up picking up that pass play. And I don't have anybody on my sheet that says 86.
And it may have been 85 there. Mike Martins, yeah.
Martins with the reception, bringing up a 3rd down and 2. Very manageable situation for the Cougar offense.
Yeah, ball on the 41-yard line, just over 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Tapia now the safety alone in this formation defensively. And they bunch it up, they give the ball to Watson. He tries to get over on the left side, but the defensive line comes up with a nice stop. And I'm not quite sure it's going to be very important where this ball gets spotted by the referees, whether or not the Cougars are going to have a first down or a decision on 4th and 1.
Yeah, it was a close one. You saw the Wolves bringing heat straight up the middle.
Great field view on the camera work there. The defensive line and the linebackers collapse, and immediately they send out the punting unit as Coach Victor Santa Cruz says, hey, we're going to kick this ball away back deep for Western Oregon. Nope. Play dead there. Kick is away, and it was a booming kick.
Timeout, Western Oregon. Timeout number 1.
Well, we'll come back for that punt live on the Wolves Network here on KWVT.
That was a good.
Welcome back to MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag. We've got great action coming up here live on Channel 17, KWVT. Wolves and Cougars doing action. And right now it's the visitors rudely treating the Wolves 13-6 and they've just pinned the Wolves deep in their own territory. Ball on the inside the 10-yard line, best I can see on that punt as we were coming out of the timeout. And right now it's a sputtering offense, and Ryan Bergman comes out his first 2 attempts. He's got no completions. Joe Harris not running the ball very effectively, and a bad snap from the center to Bergman now as he's got Panui and Antoine Wafer in the backfield with him. Bergman, 2 wide receivers out to the right, and they fake it, looking to go deep on this play on the right side. Man open, it's Wafer. Wafer comes underneath it, and Wafer misses the ball. It's just slightly underthrown as they were going for the home run there on the 8-yard line. I mean, Bergman gets some good air underneath that ball, but just not enough to lead his receiver.
Yeah, Bergman with a nice ball there, just underthrown. Yeah, there you see he touched him in the hands, but wasn't quite able to bring it in there.
Bergman now will give it to Harris off the left side, and Azusa Pacific and the white shirts come crashing over that offensive line. I don't know if he picked up any yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down and long, and you've got to be very careful here that you don't do something that is really going to cause you problems later in this football game. As the defense gets up off the sideline, they're almost conceding they're going to have to go back out there. Trips wide receivers out to the right. In the slot, we have Tyrell Williams. Bergman now looking for a man, finds it underneath the middle there. It's not quite out to 1st down yardage, but it's going to be some breathing room. Couldn't quite see from my vantage point who picked up the reception, but it was Joe Harris out of the backfield with the reception. Going to give him some breathing room so the punting unit can come out and not be pinned in their own end zone.
Yeah, Harris with a nice reception there. And it looks
personal foul, roughing the passer, 55 defense, contact with the helmet, 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
What's the best cure for offensive woes?
Yeah, defensive penalties. There you go. The defense bailing out the offense there. And a silly penalty because the Wolves would have gave back the ball. All the momentum currently on the Cougars' side, but now it'll be a 1st down, so this drive continues.
44 seconds on the clock here in the 1st quarter. Michael Bergman in the shotgun waiting for it. Cougars are showing blitz as they get up to the defensive line, and they have Harris wrapped up before he even gets back there. He won't even be tackled. The play will be ruled dead, and it could be our final play of the 1st quarter. And what really could be said, a very one-sided 1st quarter. Very lucky if you don't have that run back by Tapia. What kind of game are we looking at right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Almost up to 150 yards total offense so far for the Cougars, and we haven't even made it out of the 1st quarter. It looks like they may get one more playoff here.
And they do at 2 seconds. Bergman now off his back foot. And again, another penalty flag thrown here. I don't think we're going to get a roughing the passer. Yeah. General direction indicates a holding, but we're not quite sure yet. It's so sun-drenched out there today, I can't even see the yellow flags.
Right, and it looked like the pass was tipped there. So even without the penalty, the play was going to be dead.
Antoine Wafer trying to sneak in there and see if he can get any indication what the play is going to be. Coming off the field, Robert Savoy.
And it is going to be a hold against the offense.
Holding, offense number 61. That penalty is declined. It's 3rd down. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
And the score after 1 quarter here at MacArthur Field. It's the Cougars of Azusa Pacific on top of the Wolves of Western Oregon. 13-6. We'll be back with the start of the 2nd quarter live here on the Wolves official network, KWVT. 3rd down and 12. Wolves now. Trips wide receivers to the left. Ryan Bergman now looking to his left side. Flushed out. Throwing off his back foot and just throws it away. And the story now going into the 2nd quarter is the same as the 1st quarter. The Wolves have got nothing going on offense. Zach telling me only 16 total yards from the offense and nearly 150 coming from the Cougars. That's really the tale of the tape so far.
Yeah, really one-sided on the offensive side of the ball so far. Really making the difference in the score, and the Wolves are lucky to have that kickoff return or that punt return for a touchdown there. If they didn't have that, it'd be even worse. So they are going to punt here, 4th down and 12, ball on their own 30-yard line.
Tariq Miles back on his own 30-yard line.
And it's a fake.
It's a fake. Thank goodness for my second man in command, Zach Louis-Tag, calling out the fake as I'm looking for the ball in the air. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, he did a great job of almost looking like he hesitated, looked like he was trying to dodge a man, saw it wide open. I don't know if that was a called fake or not. He just saw that left side of the field wide open. And number 38.
Alexander Brandt with the fake, takes it out in big yardage on there. Great shot of the crowd. Enthusiastic, the band playing. Tyrell Williams going back out onto the field, looking at Michael Reeves and also Antoine Wafer. First time we're calling out number 15 named James Depew.
Yeah, I don't know if you consider that the offense, but by far the biggest offensive play thus far for the Wolves.
Bergman gets it, hands it off to Harris. Harris left side. Ooh! Just tripped up, gets good yardage, almost 7 yards on that first down carry, and now momentum shifting on a trick play. That's exactly what Arn Ferguson needed. His team looked like they might still be in a Saturday slumber.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing how something like that can really open up your offense. There you saw it, nothing on the ground so far for Harris. They come back from a trick play on first down, pick up 6 yards.
Get the ball right back into the backfield to Harris, trying to get him going, but the defensive line of the Cougars will go ahead and fall down on Harris, and it's going to bring up a third down. And what I consider to maybe to be the most important play so far of this first half, because we've seen Western Oregon not be able to put back-to-back plays together on the offensive side of the ball, and if they don't have the special teams play from Tapia, you're looking at a game that would be pretty lopsided at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. The special teams really keeping Western in it thus far, you're right. And so two big special teams plays, and it'll be a big third down here for the Wolves. 3rd and 4, ball on the 42-yard line.
Wafer now the man in motion. He's looking underneath from Bergman to find him. He slips the one defender, gets the ball away, finds a wide open receiver. Number 19 with the pickup, Dustin Hurd. Dustin Hurd just kind of falls behind that zone. He's looking for an open spot in it. Everybody turning their attention to Antoine Wafer, and Bergman, look at him get away, evade the defender, and then step into this throw and find Hurd wide open with no white shirts within 10 yards of him. First down for the Wolves, ball placed on the 24-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Tyler Thornton, number 5 for Azusa, making that touchdown-saving tackle.
Interesting play there on first down is our first time to say Timothy Simpkins' name. Simpkins in the backfield as well. He gets the pitch out to the left as they try to misdirect the play, but Azusa Pacific and the Cougar defense has a read on that play early, and Simpkins will come right off the field. Second down and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Yeah, big hit there by Azusa. Knocked one of their own helmets off there. Number 5.
Tyler Thornton losing his helmet, kept his mouthpiece in.
Yeah,
but
Thornton prevented that touchdown on that last play as well.
Bergman looking out, has a wide open man out of the backfield.
That's Harris.
That's Joe Harris stumbling to the end zone, and the official signals touchdown. Western Oregon and the Wolves draw within 13-12.
Yeah, great pass to the outside there. Harris had one man to beat, and it was a foot race to the end zone.
Play designed all the way for Harris. Nobody accounts for him, and the only player that had a chance at him was Sam Fleming, but he had no idea that Harris was going to be the target and waiting for Korea's extra point to tie this game up.
And they had trouble on their last extra point, so this is big here to tie up the football game. And it's blocked.
Special teams, the big story so far.
And the ball's still live.
Well, Zach, if I've learned anything from you in the last 5 minutes, I need to stay with the play a little bit longer. But that play, the block kick, it's 13-12. Wolves trailing still by a point to the Cougars. We'll be back for more second quarter action live on KWVT. Well, exciting football here from MacArthur Field. It's a 13-12 ball game. Western Oregon kicking off to the visiting Cougars. It'll be Dilla Hunt.
And Smith.
And Smith back deep. Korea with a good kick. Smith will pick it up this time. Running out. And he is met at the 15-yard line by number 29. Dominic Aquina with the big stop. And it's great coming on the heels of an 12-play, 92-yard drive that takes up 4.5 minutes on the clock and has put Western Oregon back in the game. And if it isn't for Brandt's fake and then the Harris touchdown again, we'd be talking about a much different football game now. But now an opportunity for Western Oregon to assert their defense here in the second quarter. Yeah, like you said, that one special teams play really seemed to wake up Western's offense. And then a great tackle there by Akina, open field tackle on the kickoff. So the Cougs will start with the ball on the 22-yard line. Desmond Stewart now fakes it, looking to the right side, has a man wide open. Ball is caught by Dillahunt, but Dillahunt doesn't have much on the play. In a short yardage gain for the Cougar offense, it'll bring up 2nd and long for Azusa Pacific. Yeah, and here you'll see on the replay, it looked like Dillahunt had quite a bit of room there on the outside, but he bobbled the catch here, and just that few seconds gave the Wolves enough time to get over there and bring him down with just a 2-yard gain, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 8, ball on the 24-yard line. The start of the second quarter, we're only we got 11 minutes, 24 seconds to go here. And Craig Atkins now lined up on the right side of the defensive line, looking to make an impact, as Watson was going to be the intended carrier, but Stewart keeps it on the left side. Number 26 coming up to make the hit. Roger Garrett knocking Stewart out of bounds. Not quite first down yardage on that play. I can't quite see where he was pushed out at. It will be 3rd down. Good pursuit from all the defense there of the Wolves. It'll bring up 3rd down. Haven't quite marked this ball yet for us to give us a good, accurate yardage. Ball on the 27-yard line. They're saying 2nd and 6. I have it as 3rd and 6. They haven't changed it on scoreboard yet. Stewart now looking to pass. Looks over the right side, lofts it up, has a man open, and the pass is caught quite easily by number 85, Mike Martin's wide receiver, 6'2" sophomore. Yeah, and what opened up that pass play was the quarterback had all the time in the world. Not much defensive pressure there on that pass, and Desmond was able to find his receiver wide open there. 27-yard pickup on the play there for the Cougar offense as they now move into Western Oregon territory. Watson now in the backfield, trip wide receivers out to the left. Stewart looking that way. Man in motion across the formation, pitch out to Douglas. Douglas gets out to the left side and met immediately by number 26, Roger Garrett. Garrett now starting to assert himself on the defensive side of the ball as he's knocked a few players down here on this particular possession for the Cougars offense. Yeah, number 9 also getting in on the action there, A.J. Hull, a freshman. So freshman getting some playing time back there. Under 10 minutes to go here in the first half, 13-12, Cougars on top of the Wolves. 2nd down and 10 on the 45-yard line. Stewart, shotgun once again, 4 wide receiver. Twins out to the left and right. Looks like a passing play so far from Stewart. Fakes a little handoff. He's going to have to get up in the formation. He's going to run on his own. And he doesn't slide in time, but he's taken down. Number 44, Devin Wells, leading tackler for the Wolves. Nice play here. Stewart wanted to pass, realizes it early on, runs right to the middle of the field, which has been the most effective spot to take advantage of the Western Oregon defense today. And it brings up 1st down and 10. Ball goes to the 34-yard line. And Cougars now are driving. Stewart in the shotgun, same formation as the previous play. Looks like Watson's back there in the backfield again. Wolves creeping up. And it looks like it's going to be motion on the offensive line. We're going to wait for the call, as it'll be a false start most likely, as that's the early indication. Yeah.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Yeah, quarterback Stewart was definitely going on a hard count there, and unfortunately his offensive line moved. So that will push them back. It'll be 1st down and 15 now. Sapili Tuliamala was the man that came across for Western Oregon, but drawn offsides, obviously, by the false start of the Cougars. 1st down and 15, ball placed on the 39-yard line. Stewart now 4 wide receivers once again. Creeping up, Wolves linebackers are there. Pass going over the top again. And what a pass and what a reception
I mean, perfectly timed Ed Dillahunt. There is a penalty flag on the play.
And I think it was pass interference. The defender draped all over Dillahunt and still was able to make the catch. We'll see it here.
If we were talking to Trent Dilfer on ESPN, he would be talking about his daily dimes. I mean, that was an absolute pearl right there that he dropped right in his hands. But it looks like the offensive player was going to be interfered with on the play, and we're waiting for the official.
Holding. Defense number 9, that penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
A.J. Hull with the infraction for Western Oregon, but it really was for naught because what a play from Stewart out to his man Dillahunt.
Yeah, beautifully thrown ball there. And it'll bring them all the way down to the, looks like the 14-yard line here.
Stewart highly effective, 7 of 9 now for 70 yards in the game. 2 now backs, goes to Watson. Watson running off the left side. Excuse me again. Option and the keep. I've been faked out 3 times, but Tapia comes up and makes him pay for getting that pitch.
Yeah.
Douglas was the man with the ball. Douglas doesn't get anywhere, in fact, loses yardage on the play for the Cougar offense.
Yeah, nice job by Stewart holding on to the ball to the last possible second, but the Wolves had got out there, shut down any lanes.
Second down and 9, ball on the 12-yard line, 7:43 on the clock here in the first half. Stewart now shotgun, man in motion.
And it's Douglas that gets the handoff.
Douglas has a blocker, but nothing going on there. And it looks like 44 once again, the big tackle coming from Devin Wells.
And they got us again. It's Terrell Watson with the carry there. My fault. 23 Douglas and 33 Watson.
Watson doing his best Christian Okoye impersonation, the most famous alumnus of the great Azusa Pacific Cougar football program. Played for the Kansas City Chiefs, won a rushing title and many individual titles in track and field while in college. But Watson doing his best impersonation this afternoon.
Yeah, doing a nice job of carving up the defense. And like we've all said, the majority of that coming straight up the middle, and it will be another middle run here.
But the defensive line really doing their homework on that play as number 90 comes up and makes the tackle for Western Oregon.
And also number 40 in there as well, Shane Kinsey.
Hobbling off the field, number 49, Jeremy Austin Moore. Another field goal, 3rd attempt now for Azusa Pacific here in the first half, as they've not converted some of these field position opportunities into touchdowns, and right now it'll be their 3rd attempt. Cacciatore back there.
Yeah, Cacciatore so far 2 for 2.
Low driving kick. Signal goes up, and Azusa Pacific tacks 3 more on the board and increases their lead at 16-12 over Western Oregon, live here on Channel 17 on KWVT. Tapia and Wafer back deep for the Wolves. Kick is up from Cacciatore. Tapia picking up the ball at his own 4-yard line, running on the right side. The sideline will run him out of bounds, not before he gets to the 25-yard line. But I'm staring over at the statistics on my computer screen right now, and I don't think it tells us anything more than it's been fairly one-sided, and Western Oregon extremely lucky to be in this game, giving up 220 yards of total offense to the Cougars and only managing 86 of their own, and only be down 4 at this point with, 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. You have to feel fortunate.
Yeah, good thing for Western coming both on 2 special team plays, definitely keeping them in it, and also Azusa with 4 penalties for 35 yards.
Bergman hit as he throws the ball, and he was looking for one of his favorite targets, Michael Reeve. They were a great combination in their first game against Dixie State at home 2 weeks ago on this field, as Bergman could find him anytime he was looking for the big wide receiver. Hard to miss when you're 6'7", a whole foot taller than yours truly, so easy to see him out there. Again, 3 wide receivers in the set. Bergman will hand it off to Harris. Harris runs up the middle, gets a good block, and gets a few yards on the play. 3.5, 4. Play not ruled dead coming out of that pile.
And it looks like one referee from the far sideline is marking it down. Number 58 for Azusa came out with the football. Matthew Hackett.
Officials are going to actually blow everything dead here for a moment as they're going to confer. They're about ready to give this ball, I think, to Azusa Pacific as the defensive players are pretty excited about what they're hearing and seeing. Guess the whistle had not blown the call dead.
The ball came out on the play and White recovered with his knee down. It's first down Azusa Pacific at this spot.
Well, from our vantage point, we didn't see that the ball had come loose before that, but they're saying Azusa Pacific will cover up the Harris fumble. And when he covers up that fumble, he was with his knee down, and they'll give the Cougars the ball from the mark right there.
Wow, tough to tell from that replay there. Didn't really see the ball come out, but there were quite a few people piled up there, so they're saying it came out, but his knee was down.
A rare 70-degree day in October, and a lot of Wolves defenders now with their hands on their hips as they've spent a boatload of time on the defensive side of the ball here in the first half. Stewart goes back to work for the Cougar offense. He's flanked by Watson, the big tailback who's doing the most of the work today, and it's going to be a pass play on first down, but Stewart has running room. He'll bring it back down and run out of bounds by Wells, but not before he picks up positive yardage. As right now, it looks like Western Oregon and their defense a bit on their heels, and at bare minimum, a little bit tired.
Absolutely. Like you said, you can see some hands on hips, and there's the replay. Quarterback escaping, and no Wolves really around him. Nice pickup on the scramble there. So it'll bring up first down and 10, ball on the 20-yard line, 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Stewart now operating 2nd and 4. Bunch wide receiver set to the right. Ball goes to Watson and immediately hit by Sipili. Okay, I can't see anything today.
No, it was a great fake. I thought Watson went down too, nailed, but they had actually got the ball out, looks like to number 85 on the end around, so that would be Mike Martins. Came over from his receiver position.
Little end around from the wide receiver. It'll be first down yardage, and it'll be the Cougars now inside the red zone again and looking to put more room between themselves and the Wolves. Stewart pretty masterful from that shotgun position today and been very wily with those fakes. As many times it looks like Watson's had the ball. Timeout going to be called on the field by Azusa Pacific.
Timeout, Azusa Pacific. On timeout number 1.
16-12 over the Wolves. We'll be back for more second quarter action live on KWVT. Well, in the blink of an eye, we almost had a touchdown there from Azusa Pacific as Stewart was looking for his man on first down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Unfortunately, his man couldn't stretch out far enough to pick up that particular reception. Stewart running out to his right, pass intended for his receiver A.J. Hull on the coverage. But right now, Azusa Pacific statistically and really mano-a-mano, man-to-man, dominating this game in all facets right now. As Stewart calling a great game from his quarterback position as Dilla Hunt will go on to the right-hand side. And another timeout looks like it's going to be called here. Second timeout here for Azusa Pacific.
Timeout, Azusa Pacific. Timeout number 2.
We'll be back right after these messages on KWVT. while we were away, it was Watson with a run from the 14-yard line all the way down to the 5-yard line. Going to bring up a huge 3rd down and 1 play here for the Cougars and the Wolves.
Yeah, just short of that 1st down on that 2nd down run. So like you said, it's going to be 3rd down and 1 just outside the 5-yard line. A big 3rd down. If the Wolves can somehow keep the Cougars to a field goal here, it'll still be a 1-touchdown game.
Stewart now runs out of the backfield, goes straight to Watson. Watson up the left side is going to have the yardage for the 1st down. And for the first time today, I can honestly say that I think Azusa Pacific, coming from Los Angeles, is more conditioned for this game right now than the Wolves. And the Wolves had to know that Watson was the most likely candidate, and they still couldn't do anything. He gets the 2 big yards. 1st down and goal to goal for the Cougars, is it's completely 4-down territory here now for the Cougar offense. And Stewart will go back to work. First time going underneath center here.
Yeah, they have 4 plays basically to pick up 3 yards, and the way this offense has been moving, I wouldn't be surprised if they get it. Watson right up the middle.
Defensive pressure and penetration coming from Western. First time I've seen Atkins in on a play, probably called for that blitz and said, hey, we've got to keep him out of the end zone, or at least keep them honest here. And what a hold it would be as they actually lose yardage on that 1st down play. 2nd down now from about the 4.5-yard line.
Yeah, like you said, great penetration there, even pushed him back.
Stewart, the quarterback, goes off the field. We're going to have to look who they bring in for his replacement. For the first time we see Stewart out of the game. Looks like I have 32 in the backfield right now. Cannot tell from this vantage point. Watson gets the direct snap. It's a form of the Wildcat. And as he was trying to fall backwards into the end zone, he's going to fall a half-yard short. 2nd effort there, but the Wolves defense sticking with their man. They'll place the ball at the 1-yard line for a 3rd down and goal to goal for this Cougar offense. Strange play there. They bring in Watson basically as a Wildcat option there. Stewart coming back onto the field here for this 3rd down play.
Yeah, it seems like we were just saying this, another big 3rd down for both teams. The Cougars just need to pick up about a yard and a half here to get the score and the big lead.
They go for the quarterback sneak, and they don't get the penetration. They're trying to push their man in, and I don't know about that, guys. I think he was stopped at the moment or at the line of scrimmage. Watson will come back on this play, and if anybody's familiar with a certain play from 2005, it would be yours truly, when Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart into the end zone at Notre Dame, and it didn't look all that different on this play. As you'll see, everybody come in to give the 2nd effort that they need to push their quarterback across the goal line, and is now a 22-12 game waiting for Cachiatoras.
Yeah, it did look eerily similar.
And it's a bad kick, and it's been a tough day for the special teams play. Exactly 2 minutes remaining in the 1st half, and it's the Cougars on top of the Wolves now by 10, 22-12, live on KWVT. Welcome back. As it looks like
I think it was number 2.
Robert Savoy. Savoy gets the short kickoff, taking the ball out to around the 25-yard line for Western Oregon. And right now, they are reeling. No semblance of an offense this afternoon for Arn Ferguson, is when they played Dixie State here 2 weeks ago, they had no problem putting points up against that defense. The Cougars have come in here this afternoon, and they've made it a personal almost point to say you aren't going to run or throw the football with the regularity that you did against Simon Fraser or Dixie State. Bergman now in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers on both sides. Bergman gets to the air immediately and finds a target on a skinny slant, and a nice first play there on 1st down. It'll pick up 1st down yardage as it is James Depew with the reception.
Yeah, nice.
Clock rolling here now.
Yeah, nice quick pass there. Bergman hit his receiver in stride and picked up a nice 1st down. Ball all the way out to the 34-yard line now. Minute 38 seconds to go.
True 2-minute offense here for Bergman as he's flushed out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Again, throwing off his back foot, and very lucky that ball not intercepted there.
Nice job of the receiver turning into a defender there, making sure the defensive player wasn't able to come up with the interception. We'll probably see it on replay here. Nice job of the Quarterback evading pressure there.
Fancy footwork there, but I'll tell you, that was lucky. It didn't get picked off and straight back for a pick six. Bergman now 2nd down and 10, 1:29 on his own 34-yard line. Bergman looks right side. And really now he seems to be telegraphing his pass as we see number 36, Nick Grunsky, come in there, and he has a great opportunity to knock that ball down, probably outside the reach for an interception.
Yeah, it looked like Bergman went to his first read there, kept his eyes right on where he was throwing the football, and a nice job of the defense to get in there and break up the pass. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now.
Trips wide receivers to the right for Bergman and the Wolves offense. Looking left side now, back to the middle, trying to find a receiver. Bergman's going to be forced to throw the ball again, underthrown, but the pass is caught by Tyrell Williams. They're going to say he's out of bounds, and that you can now see why they want to give the ball to Williams. Flag down on the play around the 25-yard line. We might get another late hit here on Bergman.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching the quarterback after he had thrown the ball. Nice catch by the receiver. Unfortunately, was out of bounds. Let's see what the penalty is going to be on here. If it is on the Wolves, they'll probably decline. It'll bring up 4th down. Let's see if they get another chance, and it does look like it is on the Wolves here.
Clipping, offense number 60. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Yeah, so they will.
Marcus Cuellar. We didn't know if we were going to get to mention him today, but Cuellar called for the clipping penalty, and that will mean the Wolves will have to punt it away, trailing by 10. Azusa Pacific with 1 timeout left, and they could get great field position. And remember, the Wolves deferred to the second half. They need to get something going here. I don't think they'll fake it again here, but they're going to need to get a stop. As the kick is away, good hang time, nice spiral, tight spiral, going back and covered up by the Wolves defense. Great play.
Number 29 in there for the defense. Dominic Aquina, 2nd time we've called his name tonight. I think the last time was on a punt as well, punt or a kickoff. So a nice job by Aquina getting downfield and making that open field tackle.
David Smith, the receiver there, misreads the play, goes back playing center field, and maybe he shouldn't have fielded it, but if he did, he was really well covered there by Aquina, backing up the Cougars offense to their own 15-yard line. 85 yards to go, 1:05 on the clock for Azusa Pacific and their offense. 85 yards to go, or up by 10 on Western Oregon, and their defense right now needs to come up with a big stop here as we head towards the end of the first half. It'll be Stewart from the shotgun.
Yeah, interesting to see here how aggressive they will be with just 1:05 before half.
There goes the inside handoff. Ball looks like it goes to Douglas, and Douglas is pretty easy to see back there, but again, I guess it is Watson that'll end up with it. It looked like it was a smaller back from here, but really the story of this first half, the total yardage gained by this
timeout,
offense.
Western Oregon, timeout number 2.
So Western Oregon going to call a timeout here. We'll keep it here.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, like you were saying before the timeout, definitely a case of one team dominating on one side of the ball. Azusa Pacific with a 246 total yards of offense so far, and Western still under 100 yards through 2 quarters.
Don't want to forget all the other great viewing that you can have on KWVT Channel 17 from Longview to Eugene. Angler of the West, a great Northwest show that's been around for years. Gary Lewis in the Outdoors, a great fishing and hunting show. And don't forget Living Culture, one of the great cooking shows as they go around to local farms and find all the great food fare here live on KWVT. It's Wolves and Cougars action. 58 seconds on the clock here in the first half, and it is the Wolves trailing by 10 points at 22-10. Azusa Pacific with the ball on the 15-yard line, 1st down and 10. Make it 2nd down and 10. Man in motion is Martins. Ball handed off again to Watson, and the defense comes up big there, and Atkins makes his first play today. After those 11 big tackles a week ago, 3 for a loss and a couple fumbles, we finally get to see the defensive lineman assert himself into this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice job of getting into the backfield before anything.
Timeout. Western Oregon. Timeout number 3. This will be a 30-second timeout.
no need to go anywhere, obviously, as it looks like now Arn Ferguson and the coaching staff saying, hey, we're going to get one stop here. We're going to let him punt the ball to us, and we're going to see if we can put points on the board going in to halftime.
Yeah, the Cougars were just looking, they were content to go into halftime with a 10-point lead, just looking to run out the clock here. And Western having a couple times out saying, no, sir, we will get another chance, another crack at it, get some points on the board before halftime. Down 10, the score 22 for the Cougars, 12 for the Wolves, and a big 3rd down and 14, so 3rd and long for the Cougars.
Stewart and the Cougar offense probably can't afford to take too much of a chance on this play. Stewart from the shotgun, flanked again once by Watson. Watson gets the ball, running off that left-hand side, and there's nothing there. And I don't know, they're going to get to use the majority of the clock here, and I won't be at all surprised if the Cougars either run it all the way down or they even take the penalty. I'm not quite certain what we're going to see here. But the clock rolling at 35 seconds and we have 27 on the shot or on the play clock. I mean, we're looking at maybe a 6-7 differential here as A.J. Hull will go back, and he's going to be around midfield trying to get this punt. So they're looking for a quick hitter, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ferguson. There's nobody else back there, but I'm trying to think, is there any trick plays you can run here?
Right, yeah, and remember, a touchdown coming on special teams for the Wolves so far. So maybe just looking to take it back, and we'll have one shot at the end zone here.
Timeout. Azusa Pacific. Timeout number 3.
Smart play by Azusa Pacific as they're backed up deep in their own territory. They don't want to make that any harder of a snap for the long snapper and then for the punter there. What it's going to allow Hull, though, to do is get a good idea, measure this up. There's 10 seconds on the clock. And it gives chance for Arn Ferguson, maybe, and the coaching staff here for Western Oregon to draw something up to where they say, hey, maybe we're only going to get one shot at this, and it's going to be right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they call. But a competitive matchup on the defensive side of the ball thus far. Unfortunately, on the offensive side of the ball, it's been all Azusa Pacific.
And imagine if Azusa Pacific didn't get a couple penalties in this game. I mean, they've been giving gifts to Western Oregon here in the first half, because apparently, like I said, I feel like when I watch Western so far, they're kind of not awake yet. They've had a couple plays where they've shown what they're capable of, but right now, collectively, they're going to put all their attention here on A.J. Hull, who's going to be almost at midfield when he picks up this kick. Kick coming away. It's a high hanging kick. Hull going to run underneath it, and he'll fair catch it on the 40-yard line, and he will give his quarterback, Ryan Bergman, an opportunity with 3 seconds. Opportunity maybe for a Hail Mary. I don't know if Bergman's got that kind of arm, so maybe you look at the hook and ladder. You look at a play, potentially.
And we just saw number 49, Jeremy Austin Moore, carted off the field. We saw him come out limping there about midway through the second quarter, and now we just saw him carted off the field, so not a good sign there for the Wolves, losing one of their defensive linemen.
Savoy and Williams are the wide receivers out wide, right and left. Ball goes to Williams, and exactly as I called, Williams is going to look to maybe try to lateral the ball, but Tyrell Williams will get a reception. It will end the first half, and a first half that's been very troublesome for Western Oregon, trailing by 10 at halftime to Azusa Pacific and the Cougars. It's 22-10, Cougars over the Wolves. Halftime coming up next, live here on the Wolves official network, KWVT, Channel 17. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the halftime show here on KWVT Channel 17. Really a strange first half for Western Oregon, trailing now by 10 at 22-12. Azusa Pacific coming on the road, and both teams playing for a lot today. As we mentioned in the pregame, both teams know winner of this game is a master of their own destiny, at least for one day, to be on top of the standings here in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. But as we're looking at this game right now, Western Oregon getting basically outplayed in all facets of the game. A couple of turnovers, and unfortunately the quarterback, Ryan Bergman, a low percentage of passes getting completed to his receivers and his big play receivers. Joe Harris, not much of a ground attack there, and Azusa Pacific. Talk about, Zach, what you saw in this first half coming from the Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars have really been stepping it up on the offensive side of the ball. Desmond Stewart doing a nice job of being the field general back there at quarterback. Great job of mixing up the pass and the run there. Stewart himself has over 60 yards rushing, just behind their leading rusher there, Watson, who is coming in with 62 yards rushing. Both touchdowns coming on the ground from both of them. The only 2 touchdowns thus far for Azusa, the other points coming on 3 field goals. So a great job by their offense, really stepping it up, and their defense not allowing much of the offense for the Wolves to get going.
As you look at it, Stewart highly effective from the quarterback position for the Cougars. 8 of 11, 96 yards. When he's had to pass, he's able to pass. And even the smarter play that we've seen from him is when he brings the ball down and actually runs to keep the play alive. He hasn't taken any vicious hits. And we talked about Watson, 19 carries. They have established a tempo to this football game that Western Oregon has not been able to match.
Absolutely, yeah. The only facet of the game that Western has even been competitive, if you could even say they've been winning it, is the special teams. Really kept them in the game thus far. Also the penalties for Azusa Pacific. 4 penalties causing 35 yards, and a couple of them in costly positions. Definitely helped out the Western offense, but really not able to get into a groove like you mentioned. And so it's been all Azusa Pacific so far.
And fortunately, probably for Western Oregon, that there has been some plays that they haven't converted for Azusa, because Ryan Bergman, the quarterback for Western, not very effective. 5 of 14, 77 yards. He has thrown a touchdown to Joe Harris. And if it wasn't for that, I mean, again, we're talking about a very lopsided game. Western Oregon has to go in at halftime and is going to have to rally the troops, or as they say, maybe the wagons, and come out for a big second half. We've just been handed some statistics. They'll give it a chance for Zach and myself to take a look at it. Jumping out off the page at me immediately probably is not the first down, but it is the rushing yardage. It's kept Azusa Pacific in control of the game and the tempo. 149 to 36. They've committed to that run 30 times. Western Oregon only able to run it 10 times. And really, this was the statistic I was waiting to give the entire first half. Azusa Pacific and the Cougar offense hold on to the ball for nearly 22 minutes of that first half.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, and they're right on their stat line. They're averaging, or only allowing, the Cougars are only allowing 16.8 points a game and 324 yards per game. And they've kept Western well under the that stat line for this first half. Western coming in with only, it would be, yeah, they're only at 113 total yards of offense so far.
Zach, and as we step away and we'll go into our halftime activities, we'll just leave you with this statistic. Total offensive yards and plays. 41 plays for Azusa Pacific for 245 yards. Western Oregon 24 for 113. I'm no mathematician, but they're basically getting 2-to-1 plays on offense, 2-to-1 plays in yardage. That's the story of this football game. Wolves trailing by 10, Cougars on top 22-12. We'll be back for second half action live here on Channel 17, the official network of Wolves football here on KWVT. Back at MacArthur Field, Matt Palumbo, Zach Louis-Tag, Tapia with the kickoff coming from Cacciatore, stays in bounds, and look at Tapia try to get room. Oh, just maybe a shoelace away from getting some more yards on that play. Actually, I was just looking at his stats. He had 2 punt returns in the, kickoff returns for over 109 yards, 90 coming on his touchdown early on in the first quarter. Right now,
offside, kicking team number 39. 5-yard penalties added to the play. First down.
Well, that can only help the offense here for Western Oregon as they try to get off the schneid here early in the second half. Welcome back, everybody. Zach Louis-Tag doing the color commentary. Matt Palumbo live here with play-by-play for you on Channel 17 KWVT. We're in Monmouth, Oregon, and we have first place on the line here in the second half. Wolves and Cougars now underway.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, a shoelace tackle prevented an even bigger gain by Tapia.
Bergman going to go straight to the air here, and he's flushed out, and he's going to be sacked. Coming through on the defensive line, number 50.
Yeah.
Taliasai Talaea, sophomore, with the tackle for Azusa Pacific. And all of that nice yardage that they gained from Tapaya's kickoff return and the penalty nullified. It'll bring up second down and a very long for the Wolves offense. Second down and 10 now and about 25 yards to go to pick up the first down.
Yeah, number 50 came straight through the middle and was too much for Joe Harris, at the running back, to pick up for the block.
Reeves in motion now for the Wolves offense. Harris goes out, and it's a little screen for Wafer. Wafer picks it up, looking for a block. He's going to pick up a few yards, but the Cougar defense all there surrounding him and not letting the big play receiver, number 21, get any open field, as we see Simpkins come into the game, number 10, and Harris will come off the field for this third down and long for the Wolves offense.
Yeah, nice job of the defense reading that play. When the offensive line just lets you come straight through, doesn't put up much of a fight, you know a screen is coming, and the defense did a nice job of closing quickly, was only able to pick up 4 yards there, so a big third down and 16.
All the defenders dropping off for Azusa Pacific. Bergman goes deep, has a man open, just off of the fingertips. Unbelievable. James Depew, if he can just look it in, will pick up the first down and probably give them a chance, maybe even at a touchdown. What a throw coming from Bergman as he lays it right on his receiver's hands. I don't know if you could throw a much prettier football.
Yeah, nice job by the defender keeping his hands up, making it hard for Depew to bring it in, but you're right, a great thrown ball by Bergman and just not able to bring it in, so it'll bring up a punt for the Wolves.
Maybe a sign of things to come, but again, that little delayed kick action as the ball goes back and it's covered up. Oh, right there, and I can't quite see why they're throwing the penalty flag, but Azusa Pacific picks it up and they'll run the ball all the way past midfield as a couple of contentious players meet around the 30-yard line. Looks like it was number 22, Adam McAdams. And maybe Justin McPherson, couldn't quite tell, but they were a little chippy at the end of that play.
Yeah, just under mistimed there. I think they're going to call kick-catch interference here. But we'll get the call.
Catch interference on the kicking team. That penalty's declined. First down.
Yeah, so they called catch interference there. The defender just didn't give the offensive player enough room to catch the ball. He did not call fair catch, so I think the defender just mistimed it there, was looking to light him up as soon as he caught the ball, and the ball just got there a second later than he thought.
Desmond Stewart goes back to work for the Cougar offense. He'll have the ball at the 49-yard line in great field position to open up here for Azusa Pacific and the Cougar offense. Two wide receivers to his left, Watson in the backfield, and he looks to go to the air immediately. Underneath, he finds a receiver. He's catching the ball very well. Tapia with the catch, and Kyle Dravis with the catch. Not much yardage on the play, and I got to be telling you right now, I'm looking at the far end of the sidelines right now, and I'm looking at Trey Shimabukuro, number 14. He's only played in one game today. I have a feeling that if Arn Ferguson and this offense doesn't get off, that we may see Shimabukuro at some point in this second half, as Stewart will go to work on second and long for the Cougar offense, as he'll have four wide receivers, twins left and right, Watson in the backfield. Man in motion is Dravis, and Dravis picks it up on the end around, looking for a block, gets that block, and he is met by the Wolves defense and stopped short of the first down. Third down and very manageable for Azusa Pacific coming up here early in the third quarter, and a chance for the Wolves to have a defensive stand here.
Yeah, nice pickup on that end around there. A nice pop there.
It was Tapia again. He really is everywhere. Special teams, and now from his safety position, coming up with some big hits in this game and emotionally leading this Wolves team, which is flat on both sides of the football today. And if it isn't for Tapia's run back, it really is a one-sided affair right now. Stewart in the shotgun again, as he's been all day, handing it off to Watson for the first down yardage as he falls forward. The big running back, 33, will pick up 6, almost 7 yards on the play, and momentum staying on the side of the Cougars in their first possession here in the third quarter, up by 10.
Yeah, last week it was Craig Akins on the defensive side of the ball for Western, really stepping up. and doing a good job of leading that defense. Actually got player of the week, like we mentioned earlier. Today it's Tapia keeping this defense involved, doing a nice job, but the Cougars really have been having their way thus far. First down and 10, ball on the 36-yard line.
Watson gets the handoff up the middle. Defensive line, everybody all focused on the tailback, number 33, with the play.
And we just mentioned him, Craig Akins on the tackle.
Watson gets the handoff, and Akins, number 8, coming over from his defensive end position, putting the hurt on the big tailback, number 33. Watson, who's carried the ball over 20 times today for nearly 70 yards and has really been the focal point of this Cougar offense, as Stewart will go back to work. Wide receivers out left and right, 2 on each side as he surveys the field, calling for the snap. He'll hand it right back to Watson. Watson coughs up the ball, and it looks like it's going to be a big momentum shift play here as you see Akins calling for the ball. The Wolves take over on the first turnover for the Cougars here, coming early in the third quarter, and a big momentum shift. Let's see who makes this play, Zach.
It looks like 48 and 47 both coming in on the defense.
Kanagataa, it's our favorite name in the whole thing. Kanagataa coming up with the helmet on the football. Watson playing fantastic for the Cougar offense all day today. Gives up the rock, and it's going to be Ryan Bergman and Western Oregon's offense going right to the field. Trips wide receivers to the right. Tyrell Williams and Wafer here on the right side. They'll hand the ball to Harris. Harris up the middle, trying to get some momentum, but can't get anything going. Picks up 3 yards on the play. Second down coming up.
Yeah, and although the Cougars recovered well, I did notice some nice holes opened up there. Maybe this offense got a good breather there at halftime, like we were talking about. Almost looked like they were in a bit of a slump, or kind of trying to come alive here, and some big holes there, although the Cougars recovered quickly.
Wafer gives a hand seal to Bergman, but it's Harris with the ball off the left side. Gets 3 more yards. It's going to bring up probably a 3rd down and 5 scenario, and Bergman probably will have to go to the air here on 3rd down for the Wolves offense as they try to take advantage of the turnover by Azusa Pacific as Michael Reeves comes back into the field. Like I said, the big 6'7" target is easy to find out there, number 87, or number 80, Michael Reeves.
Yeah, and so they will come out with 3 receivers wide. Looks like Harris is in the backfield. Man in motion.
Bergman now going to throw, goes right underneath. Pass was intended at all times, it looked like, for 19 on the play. Dustin Hurd. Hurd came up with a big reception early or late in the second half, or second quarter, but it didn't come up there as the ball wasn't thrown properly by Bergman. And again, it's going to be a quick set of downs for this Wolves offense, and they're going to have to send out their kicker once again.
Number 59, Sean Barber, the senior linebacker for Azusa Pacific, came in with that pressure.
Brandt now with his 4th punt here. 2 here early on in the second half, and Azusa Pacific on the low snap gets off a fairly good kick, fielded and then dropped by Azusa Pacific and covered up. Another penalty flag coming out again.
But
Play is still live. His good field position will be given up by Western Oregon as the Cougs will take over the ball again, and the defense comes out onto the field. We'll wait and see what the call is from the referees.
Yeah, nice job by the returner there, breaking a few tackles and able to get a nice return there on the punt, but we'll have to see who the penalty was on here. 9 minutes, 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. And currently the ball looks like it's on about the 47-yard line.
Western and all their players are moving in a direction that says this play will go against Azusa Pacific.
And it will. It looks like a hold.
And a personal foul. So 2 plays there that are going to get penalized. A hold and a unsportsmanlike conduct. Or an illegal hit of some sort.
And that is probably going to be the penalty they take, the larger of the 2 penalties.
During return, personal foul. On the return team, number 45, that penalty's declined. During the kick, holding, number 12, return team, that penalty's accepted. 10 yards from the end of the kick, first down.
A bit of a break for Western Oregon as a couple of penalties called against the Cougars there. Will back up their offense for their second possession here at the 9:08 mark in the third quarter. Not nursing, but really in control with a 10-point lead at 22-12, where they've been winning this game up front with their offensive line and the hard-hitting tailback, Mr. Watson, carrying the ball for over 70 yards here, actually 86 yards now on 22 attempts early on in the third quarter. Western Oregon came out with a great defensive stand, getting the fumble from Watson, but cannot take advantage of it. It's Cougars and their offense on their own 21, first down and 10. Stewart looks to pass, looking to his left, finds a man, gets into his turn a little bit early, was focused on getting the ball to 85 the entire time.
Yeah,
and he couldn't get Mike Martins the ball there. It was a little bit early, and his receiver hadn't had a chance to turn around and look that ball in.
Yeah, I was looking at 85 the whole way. Unfortunately, just couldn't get him the ball. And so that'll bring up second down and 10 now, just over 9 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Stewart now calling out the play. Western Oregon looking for another defensive stand. The pitch goes out to Watson, and Watson has nowhere to go, and Aikens now really putting his stamp on the second half as they made some adjustments, and number 8 has been in on a couple of plays here early on in the third quarter for the Wolves defense.
And of course, number 3 got in on the action at the end too.
I don't think Mr. Tapia misses out on a chance to hit people if he has an opportunity.
Yeah, great job. We've mentioned both those defensive players for Western, and they both need to step up here in the second half to keep their team involved, doing a good job thus far.
Third down and 11 for the Cougar offense. Stewart going to drop back, has nowhere to pass, looks here to the flat, and his receiver just drops the ball. Well covered there by Devin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick all over the receiver on that play. It looks like it was intended for Grant Widmer. And I'll give you this Prost based on the beer. Dropped pass. I don't know what that means in this situation, but A.J. Hull will have a chance to go back, plant himself on the 35-yard line, and see if he can make a special teams play here for Western Oregon as they'll get the ball back with great field position.
Yeah, 2 great defensive stands here thus far for Western. Forced fumble and now a 3-and-out.
Short kick, Hull calling for the fair catch right around midfield. He'll call for that fair catch and pick it up around the 47-yard line.
And this is the second time I've seen the kicker hit the field. A nice job by the referees making sure that they... Oh, and just as I was saying it, I do see a penalty flag here. It looked like to me the defensive player was pushed into the kicker. Thus far, should not be a penalty.
Cougar defense on the field. Arn Ferguson and the coaching staff ready to send out his offensive unit. They'll have the ball near midfield and a chance to put some points on the board here in the third quarter, trailing by 10. Zach, I got to tell you right now, I haven't quite figured out what the trigger is going to be for this offense, but I think it's going to come from the quarterback, Ryan Bergman.
Illegal shift on the kicking team. 2 men moving and did not reset. That penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
So even better starting position for the Wolves now. And I think you're right, Matt. It does have to come from the quarterback position. Down 10 with the clock moving. The defense has definitely done their part, getting the ball back and getting the offense in a great starting position.
Joe Harris was going to get it, but he fakes it to him. Bergman finds his man open out, finds Hurd right out there for first down yardage. Run out of bounds, and maybe a little bit of a late play there, as there was some extracurricular activity, but Hurd will pick up the first down, and a nice start for Bergman and the Wolves offense.
Yeah, getting a bit chippy out there.
Bergman eyes his receiver, throws out into the left flat to Hurd. Hurd tried to go back into the middle, but he's driven out of bounds by the Cougar defense. Bergman will go right back to work. Wafer and Williams, the wide receivers. Low snap, gets it to Harris. Harris holds onto it, runs into the middle of the field, and picks up positive yardage, and will make it second down and short for Western Oregon as they bring in some wholesale substitutions with Michael Reeve, Hurd coming off the field as well, and we see number 15, James Depew, coming in as well to play receiver for the Wolves offense.
Yeah, there you saw it on the replay. A nice cut right off of his offensive blocker. Good job picking up 6 yards on that first down run.
Depew now in motion. Harris is the lone setback with Bergman. Bergman now going to go straight to the air, looking for a little peel play. He's got a man wide open. Reeve, the big 6'7" receiver, 31-yard touchdown, and the Wolves are on the board here in the third quarter, drawing the score to 22-18, waiting for the extra point for the Wolves as they strike in a big fashion here in the third quarter. Zach, what a great play.
Yeah, just like you were saying, Matt, it was going to rely on the quarterback Bergman to get them going on the offensive side of the ball. And just like that, a throw to their big wide receiver, Michael Reeve, 6'7". You've been saying his name all night, number 80, and he gets them in the end zone on the big pass play.
Ryan Bergman rises to the challenge of his rivals, drawing his team within 4, waiting for the extra point. Correa with the kick. It's a bad snap. They've had trouble all day, but I finally think the signs go up, and we've got ourselves a 3-point ball game. It's now only a field goal. Azusa Pacific 22, Western Oregon 19. Stay tuned for the rest of the action here live on KWPT. Back just in time for kickoff as the Wolves strike with a 31-yard touchdown.
Looks like Talik Miles on the return here.
Miles runs out to the 20 and a late penalty flag comes in, but it's Ryan Bergman with a 31-yard strike to his big play receiver Michael Reeve. Also a touchdown today to Mr. Harris, number 23, as Joe Harris scored the first touchdown for the Wolves. Waiting for the penalty flag here, but right now Western Oregon indicating that play will go against Azusa Pacific, but they're right back in this football game, only down a field goal now.
Yeah, Matt, we've been talking about statistics all night. With that last drive, Western has now taken over statistic-wise on the passing yards offensively, still being dominated on the ground, but offensively they now lead.
Holding on the receiving team, 10 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Azusa Pacific now again, the penalty starting to mount up. 7 now for 67 yards. Western Oregon's only been penalized once for 8 yards, and it's really been the story for Azusa Pacific. They've kind of shot themselves in the foot. It's going to be bad field position now, only leading by 3.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line now. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and Western's really turned it around this quarter, and they have this season been a second-half team.
Oh, pass in the air. Looks like it's going to be picked off. Wow. What a play. Number 47. Tafalolunaya. I'm going to keep saying it until I get he breaks up the pass, almost intercepts it, and the offensive lineman, it looks like 74, comes in and becomes almost a defender on the play.
Yeah,
as it looks like Cody Clay breaks up that play, which might have actually gone to the end zone.
Yeah, good job of keeping his eyes up, able to defend that almost interception.
Stewart now in the shotgun, 2nd and 10 from his own 12-yard line. Another pitch play. Ball goes out to Watson. Watson upended. Wow, what an open field tackle. Looks like it came way of Greg Stam is the way I looked at it. Number 36 came up and went right for the lower half of Watson. Upends the big play back out there as he's running out right. We'll take a look here and see what happens. Hard to see there, but I think it was Stam with the tackle, number 36. Great open field tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Cougar offense as they'll bring 3 wide receivers out to the left. Leave Watson in the backfield with Stewart.
Yeah, if the Wolves get a stop here, they'll have great field position again.
Passes up. Anticipated very well again by Chappell. Chappell comes up with the tackle, and I don't believe this. If this is the mark that this guy gives him, I don't know about this. You'll say his forward progress will get him the first down, but when he catches it, he actually takes 1 step back. Chappell tackles him where it shouldn't be a first down.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely had great position there.
Chappell with just a textbook defensive back tackle, wrapping him up and throwing his man down. But the first down yardage acquired by this Cougar offense now on the 23-yard line. 5:55 on the clock here in the third quarter. Cougars up by a field goal. And now it is, oh, wow, going down on the slide there. Dangerous play as Stewart takes the ball. He is met at the shoulder blades and a tough hit there as he was going to try to run for big yardage on that play, but the Wolves step up and stop the quarterback from picking up first down yardage.
Yeah, number 40, Shane Kinsey coming in, hitting him right before he was able to get into that slide, so a clean play. And the quarterback keeper, which looked like it could have gone for more, he only picked up 2 yards, did Stewart there.
Stewart now gonna pass again. He's got pressure from the backside, doesn't see it, keeps his feet, and staying with the play is everybody for Western Oregon. Coming up with the final tackle, Max Jackson, number 32. That after Western Oregon.
Yeah, and I could be wrong on this. I thought once the player put the ball on the ground, the ball's called dead. I could be wrong. It looked like he got a couple extra yards after he had actually touched the football to the ground.
Ball placed on the 29-yard line to bring up 3rd and 4. Azusa Pacific right now kind of getting the benefit of everything in the first half and maybe a little bit early on in the third quarter, but that big turnover now looming large as it's 3rd and 4 here. 4 wide receivers for Azusa Pacific. Stewart gonna go to the air, fakes it, goes over the right side, finds Martins wide open, picking on the smaller defensive player there. It was no problem for Stewart to make that play to his big play receiver Martins.
Yeah, Roger Garrett out there, number 26 on the defensive side, only 6'1", 190.
Big pickup on the play there as the ball goes out from around the 29-yard line out to about, well, the 48. I'd say it's about a big 23-yard play there. A lot of breathing room and good field position now for Azusa Pacific as they'll bring 2 running backs into this set behind Stewart.
Yeah, picked up 2 big third downs on this drive so far.
Douglas now getting his first carry in the second half and has plenty of fresh legs as he keeps trying to get his motor going. He gets out there and picks up 5, where he's met by Tapia and the Wolves defense. It'll bring up 2nd down and around 5 for the Cougar offense.
Yeah,
Stewart looks to the sideline for the play call.
Yeah, looked like Shane Kinsey again got the shoelace tackle before Tapia was able to put the hit on him.
Two wide receivers outright for Stewart this time. Stewart catches the low snap, he pitches it out to Douglas. Douglas has nowhere to run as the play gets stretched out and the ball down again. They're deeming the ball down.
Kinsey comes up with it. And we've called his name quite a few times tonight. It does look like they're going to say the ball was dead. But a nice job by the defense coming up and stopping that run before it could even get started. It's going to bring up another big third down here on the drive. So far, Azusa Pacific was able to pick up the first 2 thirds downs. See if they can do it again here. Ball on the 41-yard line, just over 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go here in the third.
Martin's down now here in the slot position on the left side of the formation. Stewart looked for him last time on 3rd down. Now another man in motion is Dillahunt. Watson gets the ball. And again, actually, Stewart fakes us out, and the defense comes up big, and a play coming from...
I think it was Akins.
Akins finally, again, a tackle for a loss, it looks like, and now it will force Azusa Pacific to have to punt the ball away.
And we'll see it here on the replay. A nice job of a defensive lineman tracking down a quarterback. That's tough to do.
Stayed focused on that lower half and got to his legs and took him right out from underneath him. Akins with a great play. That's the Great Northwest Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week. And finally, Western Oregon playing like the Team of the Week in the GNAC Conference is A.J. Hull, counting the number of players, is now on his own 10-yard line. He's going to run away from this ball if he's smart, and he does. Ball going to get... Oh, I don't know about this. They're going to not call it. They're going to say... I think he jumped. I think his foot was in the end zone, and there's no way for them to call it. This ball's going to get marked on the 1-yard line.
Well, and Yeah, that was.
It's not a touchback at this moment yet.
The ball was touched in the end zone by the kicking team. First down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you were right, Matt. It looked like he had touched it when he was in the end zone. At first, they were signaling down at the 1-yard line, but they did correct it.
If he didn't have his foot on the goal line and he jumped in and he hit it or swatted it out, that would be a legal play. But once you either break the plane or put your foot on the line or in the end zone, it nullifies your ability to do that. So it was a tough call, but I'm glad the referees got that one right, because it could have been very, very ugly for Western Oregon to be on their own 1-yard line. Now calling plays from the 20-yard line is Bergman. Trip wide receivers out to the right and a chance to take the lead on this possession. Harris gets the ball, finds a blocker on the left side, gets it in the middle, keeps his feet, and he's going strong, but the ball is out and loose as Harris, fighting for extra yardage, gives up the ball, and the third turnover for Western Oregon, and he gives Azusa Pacific a short and very manageable field to now go ahead and extend their lead once again, as we were just talking about how smart they were playing. He didn't need to fight for any more. Great play by 59 there. 59 doing his job. That's Sean Barber holding him up, allowing his defensive cohort to come in there, knock the ball loose. Harris gives up the ball, and it's the ball on the 25-yard line for this Cougar offense, leading by 3.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Harris doing a nice job of using his blockers, having patience there, but tried to get a little bit too much and ended up coughing up the football.
Western Oregon's defense now on, oh wow, Dillahunt running underneath the formation. He's so small you couldn't even see him amongst the red shirts, but first down yardage for the Cougar offense. And right now, like I said, I'm looking out at Chappelle, looking out at a few other of these players, and they're just flat gassed on the defensive side of the ball because there's been no continuity on the offensive side of the ball. Harris does have his touchdown receiving, but running the ball now, it's his second fumble of the game, and very costly as we have 2 wide receivers out left in the formation, Martins and Dillahunt. For Stewart, man in motion across the formation, far right side. Watson with the ball up the middle, rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling inside the 5-yard line. And they can pick up a first down without even scoring a touchdown here. Yeah, the problem is the defense only had 1 play to rest there. They bent but did not break. Got the turnover finally after 3 downs, got them to punt the ball, and then unfortunately the offense ran 1 play and gave it right back. And the game actually evaporating before our eyes. We're actually at the 30-second mark in the third quarter. Ball on the 4.5-yard line. Azusa Pacific trailing or up by 3 and looking to put more on the board here late in the third quarter. Looking over to the sideline, Stewart he might have to call a timeout because I don't think they're confident, and there it comes. They'll call the timeout now. We'll keep it here because it's such a big play, but Western Oregon.
Timeout. Azusa Pacific. Timeout number 1.
15 seconds left on the clock here in the third quarter, and Western Oregon really did a lot of things much better here for about 11 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah, and unfortunately for them, that turnover costly deep in their own territory. Had the ball back down 3 with a chance to tie it up or take the lead, and only got 1 offensive play there. It's really important drive here. Keep the Cougars to a field goal. They'll still be within 1 score, and the way that the Cougars defense has been playing and the Wolves offense has been playing, it's very important to keep within 1 score.
Looking down on the sideline, as Zach mentioned late in the second quarter, that Jeremy Austin Moore had been carted off the field. Now it looks like he doesn't have any wrap or brace on, but he's on crutches. And some teammates come over to talk to him, but an emotional leader on the defensive side of the ball, not here in this tough situation for the Wolves, as it is 2nd down and 2, ball on the 4-yard line, and they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Stewart now from the shotgun with Watson behind him.
Yeah, 4 receiver set here.
Watson has the ball, turns it up the field, keeping his feet again. Looks like his knees were down before he was able to stretch out to the end zone. As the clock continues to run, actually they look like they're going to stop it because of the first down. It'll be first down and goal to goal. Not sure we'll get another playoff.
Yeah, just short of the end zone line, but like you said, he did pick up the first down, so they're going to have 4 downs here. At least 3 to get in the end zone.
Clock is rolling. That'll be the final play of the third quarter, and when we come back, it will be Azusa Pacific on the 1-yard line, trying to put themselves up by 9 or 10 early in the fourth quarter. It's 22-19. Cougars over the Wolves, live on the Wolves official network, KWVT. Welcome back to MacArthur Field, live. Matt Palumbo, Zach Luiteg. It's Azusa Pacific and the Cougars, first down and 1 on the 1-yard line, looking to extend their lead already. Watson picks up the ball running off the left side, and the Wolves defense saying that there's no score quite yet, and the signal is Watson doesn't get into the end zone. Looking at some tail of the tape statistics right now, it really has been the rushing offense of the Cougars. 42 times for 188 yards, and I'm just gonna harp on this. 32 minutes they've held on to the football this afternoon. The defense for Western Oregon has to be absolutely gassed. Second down now and 2, 1-yard loss on the play. Stewart from the shotgun. Look to see if he calls his own number as Watson moves over to the left side. They'll hand it off to him again, and this time I believe Watson's going to get awfully close, but not quite in there.
Wow, they kept him out again.
Coming up from the bottle is Akins with no helmet. So practically decapitated trying to make the play. Is the defensive player of the week in the conference. Actually, can't quite see where his helmet flew off, but it'll bring up third down and 2 as there's no gain on that second down play. Zach, this has got to be something big if they can get a hold here, and it's only a field goal.
Absolutely. I'd expect maybe a little different call here from the Cougars this time.
And there it is, Stewart calling his own number. I thought we might see it down on second down, but you cannot account for the quarterback and for Watson on that play as they take advantage of that over pursuit from the defensive line, and it's an easy touchdown for Desmond Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart approaching that 100-yard mark. So far, 2 rushing scores on the ground, and also looks like just under 90 yards rushing. So Stewart getting the job done through the air and on the ground.
Absolutely.
And that'll take our score to 28-19 as they attempt the extra point here. And it is good.
13:44 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Cougars go up by 10, 29-19. We'll be back on KWVT. Antoine Wafer now has the ball, got it at his own goal line. Penalty flag out, and it doesn't look like a good penalty flag if you're a Western Oregon fan. As Zach and I talking during the timeout, really just looking at everything, it really is a one-sided battle so far here today. As the total offensive yards for Azusa Pacific, 335, Western Oregon 164, and the time of possession 3-1 in favor of the Cougars over the Wolves. And
during the return,
10-point
legal
lead.
block in the back, 22 of the return team, half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Adam McAdams with a foolish play for Western Oregon, and it only makes it a tougher task now, as it'll be half the distance to the goal line. It'll place the ball on the 7-yard line and make it a very long field for Western Oregon and Ryan Bergman.
Number 96 has changed his jersey number to 55.
Yeah, and it only makes it tougher for the Wolves offense, basically becoming a one-dimensional team at this point, down 2 scores with 1 quarter left. The way this game's been going, they're going to have to throw the ball.
Great point, Zach. Right there as Bergman looks out to Michael Reeve and trying to get something big. Coming underneath was Terrell Williams trying to get anything going, but I think that what they can do here is they can probably pick this team apart underneath. They don't need to go for it all in one play, and they certainly don't need to put their defense back on the field in a position where they are going to have to defend a short field again.
Absolutely. The defense came out of halftime fired up, but unfortunately they've been on the field so much. We talked about that time of possession playing such a big part and just wearing down on them. So again, they're going to throw.
In the end zone, he's flushed out. Bergman does find an open receiver, and absolutely hit is Savoy on the deep side of the field.
Fumbled the football at the end of that catch there, but it bounced out of bounds. Lucky bounce for the Wolves.
It'll bring up third down, though, for the Wolves offense.
The ball was fumbled out of bounds. It's third down.
Far side of the field is Savoy. He's absolutely clobbered, and I don't know. In football parlance, they say you actually have to catch the ball and take a step and actually call it like a football play. And I don't know if he ever had possession of that ball, to be perfectly honest. So maybe Western catches a break. Timeout going to be called by Western Oregon. That'll be their first charge of the second half.
Western
we'll step away
Oregon.
for a quick break here on KWVT.
Timeout number 1.
Huge 3rd down and 3 from their own 14. Wolves now. Bergman gets it from the shotgun. He's going to pass, has a man wide open, and it looks like it was intended for Hurd, and it was thrown behind him. Actually, Simpkins, the intended target. And I've noticed a couple times, I know we've had great weather, but a week ago, this field has actually gotten torn up as we've gone along. I've seen large chunks of the turf thrown away, and right now, Western Oregon's going to have to punt the ball away, and the receiver for Azusa Pacific is going to be standing at midfield, and they right now have a chance to really put this game in jeopardy for Western Oregon.
Absolutely, yeah. The ball was just underthrown there, thrown a little bit behind the receiver, tried to stop and plant. Oh!
And it gets worse for Western Oregon. This ball ends up out of bounds. You'll see the safety sign go up. And maybe actually some saving grace on that play, because if the defense recovers that, that's 6 points. It's going to be a free kick, but obviously right now at 31-19, Azusa in full control of this game. And right now, again, another opportunity for them when they get this ball back off the free kick to put Western Oregon in harm's way in handing them their first home loss here in Great North Athletic Conference play. As we were talking about, Azusa Pacific came here to play today and came here, I think, with the intention of we want to leave with that first place moniker when we get out of Monmouth and we go back down to LA. They brought the weather with them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, Matt. A fumble or a bumbled catch there on the snap, and unfortunately the kicker just wasn't able to bring it in and get that kick off. A nice job of the defenders getting in there and blocking that punt, and like you said, leading to that safety.
I mean, you hear this terminology used a lot in coaching. Coaches will handle physical mistakes. Today, I think what you've seen out of Western Oregon, unfortunately, is some discipline and those so-called mental mistakes that coaches cannot stand. It's players not knowing what their priorities or their jobs are on either side of the ball, and even in special team situations, as they just have not had any rhythm on any side of the ball today, except for Tapaya's play and a couple of broken plays, actually defensively for Azusa Pacific, that gave those touchdowns to Western Oregon. It really has been that one-sided for the Cougars over the Wolves today. The free kick is up, not a very good kick, and everybody running away from the ball for Azusa Pacific, and they might be doing everybody a favor if that ball stays in bounds.
And it was actually fumbled twice on the play. The first time a Azusa player was able to pick it up, the second time it was fumbled out of bounds. So both lucky breaks there.
Cougars catch a break there. It'll actually be even a little bit of a benefit to Western Oregon there. That ball actually will be placed around the 38-yard line. And Western Oregon, with 12:50 on the clock here in the fourth quarter, doesn't need to panic, but they need to get this offense off of the field, their defense off the field, as Stewart goes back to work with Watson back there once again. Trips wide receivers, now man in motion now, tied in, little motion coming from the defensive line. Pass is in the air, pass gets out to the sideline, gets to number 83, Ethan Zeidler. Zeidler with a couple of receptions in the first half, with his first reception here in the second half, catching it here on the short side of the field for first down yardage. It'll move the ball past the midfield mark, and Azusa Pacific marching on again with a 12-point lead.
Yeah, nice pass pickup there on first down. So they'll have the ball on the 48-yard line now.
Stewart gives the ball to Watson. Watson runs off the right side, spins away from one player, but doesn't pick up much more than a yard. His number 26 will come hobbling to the sideline possibly, but not feeling well, as Roger Garrett as he comes up on the play from his defensive back position. A couple of times he's laid hits on that sideline against the Azusa players. It'll be 2nd down and 10 on the 47-yard line. Cougars now content probably to take as much time as they would like to get plays called today.
Dominic Aquina coming in to replace him, number 29 of that freshman. So the freshman getting some playing time here.
Anticipating the run, Western is, but it'll be Stewart going to the air, coming to the right side. And again, great form tackling coming from the defensive backs. Aquina comes right into the game for Garrett, and what does he do? Wraps up Martins and puts him down on the ground. It'll be 3rd down.
Great.
On the 47-yard line, it looks like. Or excuse me, they picked up a few yards. They haven't quite marked it off yet.
Looks like the 42-yard line. Yeah, so nice job of the freshman coming in the game, not being intimidated by the situation. Late in the 4th quarter, down 12 points here.
3rd down conversion, Zach. How many times have we been here in the 2nd half right here at this play? Western defense going to have to come up big here against the Cougars. As Stewart is in the shotgun. Here comes Western showing blitz. Pressure comes, pass tipped away, but the pass actually gets to Watson, and Watson running his heart out, and a late flag coming in. And as I see the Western Oregon player down, I can only assume it's Chappell on the far side. I'm looking at that this play could come back.
Yeah, they'll need something going here. A big pickup there by Watson. Just a little pass over the top. And we talked about the screen earlier in the game.
So the penalty flag does go against the Cougar offense. We didn't get quite an official call, but I'm going to guess it was illegal use of the hands or a push in the back that's going to nullify that play, and we're going to get a 3rd down opportunity here again.
Oh, and it looks like because the penalty was so far down the field, they still picked up the 1st down with the yardage.
Play happens at the end of the play. It gives away the 1st down to the Cougars. They'll place the ball at the 31-yard line. And Azusa will go back to work on offense. 10:38 on the clock, and up 12 at 31-19 here in Monmouth, Oregon. Matt Palumbo and Zach Louis-Tag. Man now in motion is Dillahunt running all the way across, and there could be a timeout called here on the field by Azusa Pacific. Timeout coming from the Cougars. We'll step away for just one moment, be right back here on KWVT.
Yeah.
Dillahunt across. Watson gets the handoff on 1st down as Stewart carries out the fake far to the left side, picks up a few yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down, and the clock now running to the 10-minute mark, and Azusa Pacific on top 31-19. Miscues coming from Joe Harris on the offensive side of the ball for Western Oregon, and some very untimely mistakes defensively today on 3rd down conversion opportunities. Now give the Cougars a chance. It's 2nd down and 7 on the 28-yard line of the Wolves. Stewart going back to action from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, twins out to the left and right. Watson in the backfield. It's fake to Watson. Stewart wants to pass. And interception. Penalty flag on the play. As Aquina has the ball, he might run this ball. He falls down. He's tackled. Penalty flag's going to come down here, and what's going to be called is that the defensive back never turned around to see this play happen. They're going to say he shadowed him or interfered with him. This play will not count, in my opinion. It was great all the way up until the point that the defender didn't turn around on Dillahunt. I mean, it's just one of these things where every time they've had a chance to get something going, something goes wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge play on the defensive side of the ball here. We're going to get a
pass
call.
Interference. Defense number 9. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
You cannot blame A.J. Hull, one of the smallest people on the field. He's a freshman. He's trying to make something happen. He has a speedster on him and a player that's obviously had an impact on the game in Dillahunt, and he just shadows him and doesn't get his head turned around, nullifying again the Akina pickoff, which would have given great field position to Western Oregon. With the penalty, it'll move it up to a first down and 10. It'll be inside the 20-yard line. It'll be in the red zone. And Western Oregon and that defense has been on the field so much today. Do they have one last stand in them to see if they can only give up a field goal where you still have an opportunity to go down with a couple touchdowns and a 2-point conversion to stay in this game? But right now, that defense is in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been on the field far too long. You can see the signs of fatigue there. And again, it's going to be first down and 10, ball on the 13-yard line.
Ball goes to Douglas up the middle. He's following his blockers off the right side. Great discipline by the defensive line of Western Oregon there, but it'll be second down and long for Azusa Pacific, but the clock is just rolling. Now under 9 minutes. As you see the offense here on the sideline, everybody sitting down. They need to get back on that field. They need to cheer on this defense if they're going to do anything that they can do to impact this game. 20 now on the play clock, as again, the Cougar offense is going to be content taking their time and reading the play as the clock is their ally. 8:30 now on the clock. Stewart in the shotgun. He's going to pass, looking to the right side, looking for Martins, and the pass is a little bit in front of his receiver, and it's incomplete, and a favor for Western Oregon as the clock will stop.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're actually still passing here. I thought we would see a steady dose of Watson up the middle. Done a nice job thus far controlling the tempo of the game. And with that pass, it will stop the clock. So like you said, a favor to Western here. It's going to bring up a long third down and 10. Ball on the 13-yard line, so they can pick up a first down without scoring here.
Watson and Douglas now in the backfield. Stewart, a very, very good day from the quarterback position. 16 of 22 for 191 yards. And Stewart now fakes it, and he's trying to run the ball on his own as he ducks it under, going towards that first down marker, but he's going to fall up just short of it. And he might have run out of bounds. The clock's still moving at 8:10. Looks like he's tackled inbounds by Western Oregon, but we're going to see Cacciatore come out again. And on the play here, the two running backs there, he fakes it, wants to pass, but then you just see Stewart duck the ball underneath, and he's trying to run for that first down marker, and he's tackled inbounds. In fact, I think this play should have been that he was forced out of bounds and that it should have stopped the clock, but it is rolling now at 7:45. Cacciatore now from the 8. It's going to be about a 25-yard field goal attempt. What a time for a block if Western Oregon can get some penetration. Snap is good, kick is up. And the sign is, it is good. It'll make it 34-19, Cougars over the Wolves, live here on Channel 17 KWVT. Welcome back live to Monmouth, Oregon. It is the Wolves in big trouble, trailing by 15 now, receiving the kickoff. Antoine Wafer gets it at the 1 yard line, bringing it out, has blockers in front of him. Now Wafer getting out to the side, and a penalty flag again. And it seems on every special team play in the second half, a flag has been thrown, and most of them, if not all of them, have gone against Western Oregon.
Yeah, number 17, Andre Dixon, a wide receiver, sophomore for Western, looks shaken up on the play. And so we'll see who the call goes against.
During the return, illegal block below the waist, number 17 of the return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, Arn Ferguson, his special teams coach, and maybe the entire staff is going to have to go back to the drawing board, because today what they've done to themselves in these situations is cost themselves field position and any chance that they could maybe mount a comeback. Is it was 22-19 early on in the fourth quarter, and now it's 12 unanswered points from the Cougars, and Ryan Bergman backed up to his own 10-yard line. Is going to pass the ball. Design screen for Joe Harris.
Has some blockers out there.
Has some blockers running out to the far side if he can get one more block. But what an open field tackle coming from the Cougar defense. Can't tell, looking like it might be number 3, Silas Goma, coming up from his defensive back position. And now we're going no huddle. We're getting play calls from the sideline. Ryan Bergman now knows with 7 minutes on the clock and down 15, he needs to get this team in gear. 2 wide receivers short side of the field. Here comes a penalty flag. False start on the offense. It'll be first down.
False start. Offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, nice job of Harris on that last reception, though, before the penalty. Did a nice job of reversing field, and like you said, just had one man to beat there. Could have got a much bigger pickup, but still a nice 15-yard gain before that penalty.
Bergman to pass out to the right side, going for a big deep play. Had Savoy open, but led him a little bit too much. Coverage was definitely beat on that play, but Savoy could not come up with it as Bergman overthrows the receiver. Second down and 15, 6:41 in the clock stop. Antoine Wafer back into the game at the wide receiver position. Also Michael Reeve in as well. Joe Harris may be more effective as a receiver today with 51 yards on 3 receptions, only around 30 yards on 11 carries, and obviously some fumbles that have cost Western. Bergman now flushed out with pressure, finds a man, and it's Reeve across the middle. The lanky 6'7" receiver picks it up, gets a first down. Offensive line now hustling down. They know every second at the end of this game is going to count. Bergman looking for the play call once again. Reeve will be on the right side of the formation when we get back to the next play.
Yeah, 23-yard pass connection there. Nice job of Reeves reaching up and using all that length to get that ball.
Bergman now going to have to run on his own. He's looking for a receiver, finds one coming back to the ball. Antoine Wafer, and Wafer gets it and gets out of bounds. Clock will stop. 6:04 on the clock now into Cougar side of the field. Trailing by 15, 34-19, 6:09. Great play here by Bergman as he feels the pressure coming and the pocket collapsing. He'll run out to his right and he'll look for his receiver coming back to the play, which is Wafer, and then he gets out of bounds. Savoy back in the play. You realize earlier in this drive he almost had the home run play. He's out there. He's on single coverage far right side unless the safety will come over the top. Bergman now from the shotgun. He's going to pass again. Design play for Savoy, but Savoy doesn't have anywhere to go, and he's met immediately by 59.
Sean Barber.
Sean Barber.
Called his name a few times tonight. And although that play didn't lead to much success, the offense has definitely been doing a nice job on this drive. As soon as they switched to the hurry-up offense, finally putting some pressure on this defense.
Bergman going to throw again. He finds Wafer. Wafer going to try to get some field position and get himself into space. Picks up some more positive yards. It'll bring up third down, but the clock rolling. And by the time we get to the next play, it'll be under 5 minutes. Tyrell Williams, I don't know how he could have his hands on his hips. They haven't been on the field long enough to feel tired, and he is their big play receiver, and I would look to find a way to get him involved, even if they don't throw the ball. Let him run. He is their most special and dynamic offensive player, and he hasn't been used but once today, caught one ball out of bounds. Bergman now in the shotgun, 4:43 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Big
and the
third,
Wolves,
yeah, big third down here.
Bergman going to go for it right here. And again, I would see a penalty flag coming out here. As we were talking about it, I believe if I can see far enough over, that is Tyrell Williams. You can't miss him with his long towel. They needed to do something because they can't defend him one-on-one. The penalty stops the clock and will give Western Oregon better field position here as they try to put some points on the board.
And in the
Pass interference, defense number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
David Smith also doing a lot of work on special teams, a defensive back there. He didn't get his head turned around. Very similar to the play down here for A.J. Hull for Western Oregon.
Yeah, so a big pickup on the penalty, and so they will have the ball on the 20-yard line now, but that clock continues to move. It's 4 minutes, 35 seconds.
Bergman now going to go to his right side, throwing off his back foot. He does find Harris. Harris gets down to about the first down marker. If he does get the first down and they give him the signal, they'll stop the clock to move the chains.
And they're going to say he's just short, so that clock will continue to move. 9-yard pickup. Nice job of Bergman finding a receiver, had some pressure in his face.
Bergman now, he's got Harris in the backfield with him, trips wide receivers. Reeve now his closest receiver. Maybe they look for the lob pass, but they try to go to Antoine Wafer, number 21, get him the ball in space so he could turn and make a move. Kind of the story for Bergman last week, but the defense was so good. He was about 19 of 33. That's not 50, 14 of 33, not 50%. And he's kind of in that same scenario today. If that percentage was a little bit higher, we could only think of the opportunities Western Oregon might have been able to capitalize on. But right now, it's 3rd down and 1 on the 11-yard line. And it's a fake pass. And the pass intended for Depew, it'll bring up 4th down, and there's no question about it. It's 4-down territory, and the Wolves will have to make at least a yard here to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to just see a run pick up the 4th down. Although the clock is not on their side, they do need to make sure they pick up this 1st down. That's what's important here. They can go for the score, but if they don't get at least that 1 yard, it will be a turnover on downs.
Zach, they've carried the ball 15 times today for only 39 yards. I mean, it's a tall order right now. That offensive line that we thought was coming into its own has a chance to prove itself here. Bergman gets the ball. They do hand it off. No, it's a fake, and the ball goes right out to Joe Harris. He will get the 1st down. Wafer calling for a play from the sideline, wants it immediately to relay it in as we go now to 3:51. Clock does stop with the 1st down. Bergman and the Wolves offense now with Depew and Tyrell Williams on the left side of the formation. Wafer and Reeve, 4 wide receivers, twins on both sides. Harris in the backfield. Here we go. Bergman now fakes it. He's looking to the end zone, had a man open. Now he's going to have to run on his own. Keeps it, and the ball padded away by number 5 there, Tyler Thornton. Thornton's had a couple of big plays for this Cougar defense, none bigger than taking away a touchdown if that would have gotten through. Simpkins comes back in, so does Hurd as well for the offense here for Western Oregon. Clock now at 3:33, trailing by 15, 2nd down and 7. It really is everything that Western Oregon's offense can muster right now. Get the ball in the end zone, and then they can make the decision.
Yeah, that's right. And clock still not on their side. 3 minutes, 33 seconds. They need a score, a stop, and then another score.
Nothing happening there. In fact, Bergman, maybe the first time today, I've seen him kind of force something, trying to force it into Wafer. Is all the coverage, 3 bunch receivers, all the DBs there. There wasn't really a lane to pass into. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 from the 7 as Depew and Reeve come back into the game. And I want to see them again take advantage of Reeve. You cannot discount 6'7". Throw the ball up there. Let him be a basketball player on this play. See if he can tear it out of the sky and see if they can get back in this football game. 3:29 remaining in the 4th quarter or regulation. Bergman steps back. He's in the pocket, flushed out to the right. He's going to have to get rid of it. Throws it up, and the ball is caught in the end zone. The official is a touchdown. Coming out, Antoine Wafer with the play of the game for Western Oregon as he nods out to the crowd, and they are giving it back to Antoine Wafer on the 7-yard touchdown. What a play from Ryan Bergman, using his feet and his football IQ to keep the play alive. Antoine Wafer waving a hand, say, "Give me that football." Catches it in big traffic, and now the extra point comes out, and a big decision after this extra point once it goes through. It is up and it is good. The decision now will come when we come back after this. Will Arn Ferguson go for the onside kick live here on Channel 17 KWBT? Well, football fans, if you're just joining us here in Monmouth, Oregon, you tuned in at the right time. We've got ourselves a 34-26 game, 3:21 on the clock as Western Oregon scores a dramatic touchdown as Ryan Bergman gets the pass completed to Antoine Wafer. Extra point is good. And Arn Ferguson right now, not quite sure. The up man is up, and it might be an onside kick. But again, there is the onside kick. Bad bounce, look to see what happens. And Western Oregon will recover the onside kick at the 45-yard line. What a fantastic call by the coaching staff. And now Western Oregon, master of their own destiny, now control the outcome of this football game. And offensively, maybe they found their rhythm on that last set of downs.
Yeah, what a great kick and a great bounce for the Wolves. Couldn't have asked for something better on special teams. And again, we're talking about special teams.
Timer, please reset the game clock to 3:20. 3:20 on the game clock.
Western Oregon will lose a second on the play, but they'll be happy to have possession of the football. Ryan Bergman and that offense right now seem to really have a good feeling right now. I can't tell, for about the last 10 minutes, I've wondered if his shoulder pad...
Timer, please reset the game clock to 3:20. 3:20 on the game clock.
If his shoulder pad is outside on his right or his throwing arm, I can't quite tell if it's a towel, but maybe he's had part of his jersey ripped off. He's played so hard. Antoine Wafer, man in the touchdown on the last possession now, jamming him up there, and they give the ball to Harris. Harris runs off the left side, has an opening, gets a block, running out, tries to cut it back into the middle, and a big first down coming for Western Oregon. And Arn Ferguson imploring his offense, get back out there, let's keep it going.
And there you hear the crowd getting into it, finally with something to cheer about.
What a nice play there by Harris, making up for his fumble there as he runs some tough yardage and gives great field position to Western Oregon. Now ball placed on the 29-yard line. Clock is moving. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Bergman gives it back to Harris. Harris running off the left side now with a lot of confidence, and the ball will go inside the 30-yard line. My apologies.
And they don't mind chewing up some clock here with the way the Cougars have been handling the offense. Well, this half, actually, the defense of the Wolves have been stepping up, but the Azusa Pacific has really scored in a hurry on some.
Bad snap, and Bergman makes the right call and falls on it immediately. It was 2nd down and 5, losing about 10 yards on that play. Going to bring up a really big 3rd down conversion opportunity for this Wolves offense. It's now the 2nd time that we've seen Bergman back there with a miscommunication. This time a high snap, the last one hitting him obviously in the chest. 3rd down on the 38-yard line. Going to need to get to the to the 24 to get this. Bergman, plenty of time to throw. He's going to roll to his right, looking downfield, throws the ball, finds a receiver wide open. Great play by Michael Reed. Michael Reed staying with the play, and you cannot miss him. When you are that tall and you got a wingspan nearly 7 feet tall, throw it in his general direction and let him do the rest of the work. It's called natural genetics.
Yes, Bergman doing a good job of keeping the play going, gets the ball out there, and like you said, let his big receiver make the play.
Simpkins gets the ball up the middle, and Western Oregon running it down to the 20-yard line. 1:40 on the clock, and it still rolls. Western Oregon still going to have to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I can't forget about that. It's not only a touchdown, but they can't settle for that extra point. They must go for 2 to tie up this game, but first they need to get it in the end zone here.
Simpkins gets a nice block now to the left side. Ball batted down by 96. That's his second bat down of the game. We've called out Mr. Fume twice now on batted passes on Bergman. It's second down, third down and 7. Ball on the 20-yard line, minute 21. Western does have 2 timeouts, so if they don't get what they need here, they can call a timeout, regroup, and figure out what they're going to do. Harris comes into the game. Simpkins will come out. Wafer still on the field. Depew and Reeve and Tyrell Williams are all the receivers. They send Harris out, 4 wide receivers, 5 wide receivers. It's a ghost backfield for Bergman. Bergman, plenty of time to throw, finds a man over the middle, staying on his feet is Harris running underneath the coverage, and he gets out of bounds. The clock will stop.
Heads up play there by Harris.
Hold on a second here. The mark, very important here. We haven't moved the chains yet. I see the indication there. It is first down.
Yeah, and it was close, but a heads-up play by Harris getting out of bounds, stopping that clock.
Devontae Hoffman, number 31, is on the right side now of Bergman. First time I've seen him in the game. Williams down here on the short side. It's fake to Hoffman, and now Bergman wants to get rid of the ball. Penalty flag comes in. Depew catches the ball as he ballerina tiptoe steps.
There's 2 flags down on the play.
2 flags on the play, and I don't...
It looks like they may be separate penalties here, so it may be an offset penalty.
Depew just doing his best to go down that goal line all the way into the corner, and he catches the ball. No official sign. 2 penalty flags on the play, and if they're offsetting, it is a huge break for Western Oregon.
Western Oregon Athletics and the GNAC ask that all patrons refrain from entering the playing field.
Taylor King, offensive lineman's got his hands up in the air like, it's got to be a touchdown, it's got to be a touchdown.
Your cooperation is appreciated.
Ball still on the 13-yard line, and they still have 1st and 10 up. Let's hear the official call coming up right now.
And there you see the refs talking to both coaches here.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Illegal touching, number 15. Player went out of bounds and was the first to touch the pass. Holding, offense number 60. That penalty will be accepted 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Cuellar with the hold, and Depew getting called for one of the strangest things you'll see in football. They're saying he ran out of bounds and he was the first player to touch the ball. When they made the signal where they tapped their shoulders, that was for the illegal catch. It'll bring up first down and 20 from the 23-yard line, minute 5 on the clock. Bergman goes back to work, looking on the left side, has Williams open. Williams stretches out and catches it! Unbelievable! What a catch by Tyrell Williams!
And there's another one of those Dilfer dimes you were talking about. Bergman dropping it where only his receiver can catch it. There you see it on the replay. 2 feet down, and it is a score.
I won't go so far as to say it's an ESPN top 10 play, but it's the best pass I've seen today. Bergman now has one thing to do. Make sure we get 2 points on here.
Yes, and the extra points have been a thing of controversy tonight. We've seen missed extra points. We've seen a fumbled extra point.
Timeout, Western Oregon, timeout number 2.
Timeout much needed there for Arn Ferguson, as he's going to have to discuss with his squad right now. Exactly 1 minute on the clock. You cannot go for the extra point. You will have to go for 2. The opportunity there, down 15. Midway through the 4th quarter, they keep believing they're at an opportunity where they can tie this football game up. Zach, if you were going to make the play call right now, what do you like to see coming from Western Oregon?
Well, with all the success they've had coming through the air this second half, I mean, I would love to say with only, 3 yards out from the end zone, go for a run, but I say you have to keep going with what brought you here, what brought you back into the game. I'd say put it in Bergman's hands and let him find the open receiver. If it's a layup pass like we were talking about to Reeves, their big 6'7" receiver, I'd expect to see something like that, but hey, you know, they may throw Azusa Pacific off with a run right up the middle. It's hard to say here. Glad I'm not the coach on this one.
Don't forget about Joe Harris, number 23. He'll duck out of the backfield. The question will be, will Bergman have the time? Because my guess is you'll see the Cougar defense pin their ears back and go right after Bergman. Right now, interesting set. I see Aikens out there as well.
Timeout. Azusa Pacific.
And we're
third and final timeout of the half.
We're going to keep it right here because I think what Arn Ferguson did there was a little bit of coachmanship, a little bit of gamesmanship.
Absolutely.
And he threw a defensive lineman in that backfield, and I'm sure that none of the tape said, what do we do if Craig Aikens comes into the game?
Right, yeah, exactly. A little bit of gamesmanship. Also may have assumed that Azusa was going to take a timeout there, didn't want to show what they were actually going to come out and run. Like you said, a bit of coachmanship, a bit of sportsmanship there.
Well, I think we could officially say about a half hour ago we didn't know if we were going to get treated to a good football game because we were watching one team probably play well enough to win and another team that had really not done anything to show that they could win the game. And right now, Western Oregon, like we said all game, every time they were down by 10, it felt like it was considerably more. They get down as much as 15 and now have an opportunity to tie the game, and we're going to have the biggest play of the game. 1 minute officially on the clock. No time will expire here on this two-point conversion. Aikens goes back out with Bergman. They've got a defensive lineman, and they have Harris in the backfield. It's a design play to flush him out. Ball goes up, and it's just outside the reach of the tight end. Mark Moore, the intended target.
Bergman's pass in the end zone for the extra point is incomplete, leading the score. Azusa Pacific 34, Western Oregon.
And nobody wants to bring this up. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I've been that many times. Western Oregon missed 2 extra points in this game. We'd have a tie football game right now.
Yeah, I believe you are correct.
In fact, we would have had a kick that would have been for the win. And it's really a strange thing when you watch a football game when they talk about a game that comes down to inches or just a few plays. And right now, it's coming down to their special teams. Even though they had the Tapia play, everything else that could have gone wrong has gone wrong for them today.
Yeah, speaking to that point, also remember the safety down here, the fumbled pass there.
The botch punt.
Led to another 2 points.
Exactly. I mean, if you take the swings in this game, in a game where you're clearly being outplayed in regards to time of possession, the ability to, for the Cougars to rush the ball and the Wolves not to stop it, and Bergman with this big second half, it looks like it's all going to be for naught. Obviously, we're going to see another onside kick here. Can the Wolves recover a second onside kick here?
Yeah, they really need a miracle here.
Career does it again, and this time it is recovered by number 59. Sean Barber, linebacker, on the hands team, will pick it up, and all the Cougars will have to do.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. We've talked about stats all game, but with this huge second half of offense, Western is pulled within 70 yards of total offense.
So, and for most of the game, they were outnumbered 2-1, and right now it looks like Western Oregon has 1 timeout left with 58 seconds on the clock. They will call that timeout, but I don't know that they will get this ball back with any time left on the clock unless there is some sort of massive blunder by Azusa Pacific. The timeout will come. We'll stay right here.
Yeah, going into the fourth quarter, the first downs per team, Western was getting doubled up, and they've brought it all the way to
Western Oregon, third and final timeout of the half.
Just short, two first downs under what the Cougars were able to perform thus far on the offensive side of the ball. So really done a nice job Western has of coming back offensively in this second half. Really a tale of 2 halves offensively.
It's tough to have to look forward already to next week and homecoming and Humboldt State coming here and trying to get back on that winning track. But I think if we learned anything about Western Oregon moving forward, Arn Ferguson and this offense, they play better when they play up-tempo, when they dictate the action, because it seems right now that the offensive line feels far more comfortable pass blocking than they do run blocking because they haven't given Harris enough opportunity to run the ball. Of course, when he's run on those little bubble screens, he's had an opportunity, but the offense seems to be much more in tune when Bergman's throwing the ball and they are just running plays and being natural within the game. When they are actually having to stop and look at things, I think it gives the defense a time to figure out what they're doing. And unfortunately, as the seconds dissipate, it's going to be a very humbling and difficult loss for Western Oregon here today.
Yeah, to speak to that point, Matt, only 58 yards rushing thus far tonight, and 257 yards through the air. So absolutely, offensive line much more comfortable, at least this evening, this afternoon, pass blocking, like you said.
Well, as the clock expires, Western Oregon will move to 2-3 on the season, 2-1 in conference play. Azusa Pacific will stay amongst the leaders in the GNAC Conference. Final score here from MacArthur Field: Azusa Pacific 34, Western Oregon 32. We'll be back for a recap of today's game live on KWVT. Welcome back, everybody, to Monmouth, Oregon. Matt Palumbo alongside Zach Louis-Tag. Well, I got to tell you, I didn't know halfway through that fourth quarter we were going to have a football game, but I think we learned a little bit about Western Oregon, their resolve to play a 60-minute football game. And I'm not going to say they weren't there for the first 30 minutes, but obviously this Cougar team got their attention. They're down 15 midway through the fourth quarter, and they get within a 2-point conversion of an opportunity potentially to force a Kansas plan overtime. Give me your initial thoughts after the game, Zach.
Well, I think you said it a little bit earlier. Definitely a switch in the offense. As soon as they switch to that fast-paced offense, really a difference in their production. Like you had said, not much productivity there in the first half, but once they switched to that fast-paced offense, really got control of the passing game. Really night and day difference in their productivity. So what would you say, Matt, that they have looking forward to the Wolves headed into their next week's matchup versus Humboldt State?
I think, quite honestly, if you reflect upon this game, it will be how they started the game. And I think it pretty much proves that on any given Saturday, you better not take for granted the opponent that you're going to play. Obviously, there's a reason that there was a four-way tie this early in the season. Azusa Pacific coming on the road, getting a win in conference play, never easy. And Arn Ferguson has to understand, I think, that he has an offense that basically feeds off of itself and its confidence. There is remnants of all sorts of offenses when Arn calls plays, but they're most free when they're out there calling their own plays. Defensively today, they put themselves in such a position to be fatigued because of the effectiveness of the two-headed monster of Stewart and Watson. I mean, combined, these guys today, I'm looking at it right now, over 200 yards, actually just short of 200 yards, 192 yards coming from quarterback and the tailback, and they really set the tempo for this Cougar offense, and their defense stood up to the challenge of that offense once it got rolling. Give me some more of your thoughts as you look at these statistics. I mean, we talked about it all night long, but I think the one that stands out is the time of possession. Even though we don't have it, we know what it was. Yeah, and Stewart, like you mentioned, did a great job of being a field general out there at the quarterback position. Also picked up just under 100 yards rushing, and I mean, it's hard to stop a team when they're not only are they performing on all cylinders when it comes to the pass side of the ball, but also when their quarterback is rushing for nearly 100 yards. That's pretty hard to stop. Also with the two rushing scores he had, I mean, it's a tough offense to compete against, and we did just get some in-game statistics here. I wanted to talk about Ryan Bergman because I think it's really happened to him 2 weeks in a row, and I think it's something they're going to have to focus on from an offensive side of the ball. Is he's 20 of 39, he's 14 of 33 a week ago. He's going to have to raise that overall percentage if they are going to stay in these games, because you can't take away that he threw 4 touchdowns. He's effective once he gets the opportunity to throw the football, but I cannot get away from this time of possession. It reminded me of the old knockdown, drag-out days when I was at Oregon State and Jerry Pettibone, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it wasn't that tonight. 40 minutes and 18 seconds, Azusa Pacific handles the football, keeping that defense on the field, and it became very clear deep into the second half that there was a lot of fatigue coming from Western Oregon.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't forget to mention Shane Kinsey really stepped it up on the defensive side of the ball for Western tonight, having 15 tackles. And also Devin Wells, who'd been leading the team with tackles coming into the game, also added 13, so that's going to help his cause. So a great job by both these defenses. And also, can't forget to mention Barber, who came in for Azusa Pacific with 16 tackles at the end of the game.
Number 59, yeah, we called his name a lot.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give out some special attention because both sides of the football, or both sides of the game for Azusa Pacific and for Western Oregon, was kind of a tale of special teams. And it was early on there when Cacciatore got those couple of field goals, and they got those points and kept them momentum. Most times they'll say, hey, you cannot win a football game with field goals. I beg to differ. He has 3 of them today. It's 2 missed extra points. It's a safety. It's those little things that cost Western Oregon in a game they maybe had no business being in, because it looked like, for lack of a better term, like they were sleepwalking for the majority of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. That first half, a tale of 2 halves. That first half, you're totally right. It looked like they were still in the locker room almost. And unfortunately, you know, they came on strong in the second half, and they are a second-half team. They've shown that this season thus far. But unfortunately, they were down too much. Almost were able to make up that 15 points there, but just fell short. Couldn't get that last 2-point conversion. And unfortunately, that led to our current score.
Azusa Pacific will take on Simon Fraser next week. And, of course, Western Oregon will be right back here, Zach, for a 1 o'clock kickoff on the 12th. It'll be Humboldt coming here for homecoming. A couple of things I wanted to mention here just before we got out of here. You talked a lot about momentum plays, or talked about a lot about third down. And really an interesting statistic as you see the game unfold. Third down conversions, Azusa Pacific and the Cougars, 9 of 19. That's nearly a 50% clip. That keeps a lot of momentum and drives alive that it would have got Western Oregon's defense off the field and an opportunity maybe to score more points. Western Oregon, 4 of 12. 2 of 2, though, on fourth down conversions, those coming obviously late in the game. 75 total plays run by Azusa Pacific for 383 yards. Western Oregon 58 for 315. And it was that ineffectiveness to run the football tonight. They were committed to it again, maybe 19 for 58. They ran the ball 40 times last week, and half as much this week. Did not get the job done. Final score is 34-32. Final thoughts today, Zach, on this game?
The Western, they definitely have something to hang their hats on at the end of the game. Definitely have some momentum that they were, even though they came away with a loss, something to build on here. They know that their offense can perform. Maybe they can take away a little bit of knowing that once they turn it on into that high-paced, faster style offense, they definitely picked up the productivity, and something to build on for next week's matchup.
Well, football fans, wherever you may be, I want to thank you for joining myself, Matt Palumbo, Zach Louis-Tag, Ken Louis-Tag, our executive producer, and all the people at KWVT Channel 17 here in Salem, the official network of Wolves football. Final score today, 34-32. The Cougars beat the Wolves. We'll be back next week for a 1 p.m. kickoff when Humboldt State comes in to Monmouth to take on Western Oregon. Have a great day, everybody. Be well.
Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.